For the first one, we got something wrong. Well, I did anyway.
We are live to the nation.
So,
Procrastination.
yeah, this is kind of unfortunately tied in with football. I didn't know I was going to stay in the tournament that long, to be honest, but here we are. Oh, yeah, we don't have Gloria tonight, so hence we're going to do this as a two-parter. Because when we do the next one, obviously Gloria will be here, because I know she likes her aliens, doesn't she?
I don't know.
Well, I'll find out. Well, one alien likes her,
Did you
anyway.
put on there, Adam, that it was for... Oh, no, that's wrong one. Right, hang on a minute. Round 2. Yes.
Yeah, that's on there.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about tonight on our round table that identifies as, or a rectangular table that identifies as a round table, we should say. And yeah, so it's Rudy himself and obviously Paul, them manning manfully the equipment, shall we say?
What I've done, Adam, I've put the K2 in shot as well, for obvious reasons, because obviously you don't want to see the blind over there. So
yeah, so just quickly explaining, as I've explained before, when we've been in here, we've had things happen. We had this fart machine go off on its own. The remote's down there, so you can see I was tampering with it. And the K2's up there as well, because we've also seen that's gone off as well.
I'll just show 'em. The control is down there, just below the sign there. So obviously it's out of shot,
Yeah.
but it's
Well,
not.
you can see there's only. You'd have to see someone go into shot to press the button. So.
I mean, if you want to, you can put it on the back behind you, by the bike. No one will see it then.
Yeah,
Leave it there?
We'll leave it there, yeah. As I said, you would see if anyone comes in and tampers with that. So, yeah, as we said, you know, it went off multiple times Saturday night. We was all here having a drink, so, and it's gone off on some of our previous streams, so we're going to leave it out and see if anything triggers. So, yeah, as I said, you know, we did our first round table just over a month ago. It's ended up being a week late because the Ask a Medium was a week late, so it's kind of. But next, after this, normal service will be resumed on the live streams. So as you know now, we have the Ask a Medium, which is Paul, Gloria, Rudy, myself, talking about paranormal experiences and our thoughts on the world of mediumship and all the rest of it, and car readings as well.
And possibly a guest plus one.
Yeah, we will hopefully have some guests in tow, so keep watching for them, and obviously I will let you know in due course on the channel. Just explain again, the round table is different from the Ask a Medium. The round table is where we pick a subject and we will discuss, our thoughts and experiences and all the rest of it. And obviously, if you want to share any experience that you've got in the subjects that we talk about, and if you want to ask us our thoughts as well. And as I said, I realise we're going to be up against it tonight because football's going. We have got the football going in the background, so if anything happens, we will mention it briefly. As things stand, it's 1 apiece. Dutch scored a great goal, and then we got one back via a penalty. So it's all square at the moment.
Within 6 minutes of the actual goal.
Yeah,
it's good.
I'm not going to place a bet tonight. I don't think I should. I've done quite well last few games. But anyway, gambling is to be dealt with responsibly, as we know. When the fun stops, stop.
I love that sound.
Yeah, yeah, I know all about that. But yeah, when I know I'll put a couple of quid on things that are happening, so no, we'll stop there. But that's that's the funny, having a little flutter on a football game. So yeah, we're going to discuss aliens and whatever, from our experiences of, star seeds. I've just been asking our pendulum tonight, where Rudy comes from. I've always felt Lyran, which we did have a confirmation on that board earlier. Mine is Palladian, which would make a lot of, given my roots, Palladian was the really pretty much the go-to. Gloria's Arcturian, isn't it? She's got an Arcturian.
I could tell by the way she walks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that. I didn't want to say anything.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So,
So you know we've got alien guides as well. Paul's yet to work out whose his is, but
Yeah.
we will get there.
As
in
it
due
just said, the
course.
pendulums have said it's
It's
unsure at the moment because obviously I'm
you
not
need
sure.
to figure that out.
So I need to
Yeah.
figure out what.
It's something for Paul to figure out.
I'll watch those videos you recommended and see what resonates with me. So
Yeah, so there is a really good channel to check out, which is what I've got, Astral Legends, I think. It's been an excellent channel. I think they take stuff from a certain book, but it discusses the origins of the alien races that were here before humanity, and the part that they've all played in the development of the human species. We've got some that we've got alien species that want us to progress and to get higher up, and then there are the more nefarious species that want to keep us down, keep us controlled, and feed off our energies. You know, as us as enlightened souls, we know all about this, and hopefully some of you do as well. You know, that will be all to play for tonight, and then we'll do a second one with Gloria.
Yeah.
We'll get her thoughts on it.
that's a good point. You know, there's several species vying for control over this, you know, this part of the galaxy, and obviously there's been a few skirmishes along the way, and you know, but we're now in the processes of kicking the rabble out, as to say, excuse the you know the language, but yeah, we're going through that process at the moment because the vibrations are changing, which obviously
all the time.
yeah, well, wait, you know, it triggers a lot of you know abilities in people like us because we're star seeds, and not only us, all over the world, you know. So it should be interesting in the next few months, years, whatever. I don't think it's that far away.
No.
No.
Until we see some real developments happening. So keep your eyes on that one, guys.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
Yeah, all three of your eyes, if you know what I mean. That'd be like your third eye for
Well, if it is rise, it'll be the left ear, the right ear, and the final
on the
front.
frontier. Yeah. So, yeah, there is interesting things. Well, I'd say interesting is a bit of a
Understatement.
it is a massive understatement. But to kind of understand where this realm, you know, this planet is, it has been a real battleground. Some of you may have heard of, there's like a galactic federation. There's what, I think there's 7 species at the top of it.
Yes.
There's quite a few more than that. 7 species of what we know, you know.
What we know of,
what
yeah.
we know of, but there's a lot more than that in the mix, really.
Apparently it's hundreds, I think, isn't it?
Considering this galaxy, this galaxy is rather large.
Because I believe we don't even know 1%
No, we don't.
what the rest of them know, because obviously we're the youngest out of all the species. We are. I mean, they go back thousands, hundreds of thousand years, and you know, and evolution doesn't actually say we come from apes, etc., etc., etc. But
Well, that's the general.
that's the general consensus.
Humanity, I mean, you know, we're talking about the missing link, and you will never find it because.
They don't want you to, basically.
No, I mean, humans past they developed up to a point naturally on this planet. There might have been some manipulation, but that missing link is where somebody went from basically using basic tools and.
Well, there's 2 theories, isn't there? The one about we were created out of a trait from every single species of the Galactic Federation, such as self-healing, self-awareness, intuition, instinct, things like that. We were a product of that. So we're the youngest of the species, and obviously, I mean, this is only allegedly. There's no proof of this, but a lot of people may have heard about the wars with the Anunnaki about 6,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Where we tried to run the realm of Anunnaki, and we failed, and that's how we got a firmament put across us, because we were punished and then become slaves for the next 6,000 years.
Well, they say this was a prison planet. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think this planet was kind of genetic menagerie.
Mm.
You know, a mix, because they were experimenting on the, you know, if you like, the DNA of every, you know, the creatures mixing, and you know, so we're kind of a mixture of several species.
Do you feel that we're the aliens to this world?
Well, I think
We
I
are
don't
now.
know, I think we're seeded here. You know, I do believe.
I thought we found this place, or we were put here.
Yeah.
Because I do think this is, whether you go down the lines of a certain film beginning with M, whether you go down that lines, or whether it's a kindergarten planet or it's a trial test area, whatever you think, I think we were put here because obviously we're being the youngest species, we're the ones that have got to develop the most.
Well, when you look at the DNA structure in our sort of makeup, I mean, we're a mixture of quite a few strands, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
I mean, we've definitely got reptilian DNA. When we're first conceived, it's all reptilian.
But we've also got the insight. I think is it the Palladians that are very technical minded, and we've got that insight for an imagination that can build things with our minds, and such as Arturians having the instincts and the intuition to actually know what you're doing. But we've got one thing that a lot of them haven't got: self-awareness.
Well, we're an actual. This is what I'm saying. We're an actual focal point for these alien species, because they come whether it's travel through time or different dimensions. They're interested in us because we've got stuff that they're looking for. That you know that maybe they've lost along the way. And I was watching a program that the aliens came back because they wanted to find out, and they were little grey men with like a 3 foot with the
What they signify as greys, yeah, like
with
Paul,
with
the
bug
comedy
eyes
Paul
kind
with
of
and all
thing.
that.
And they were saying, and some bloke who got abducted by them, he said, "Well, who are you? What do you want?" He said, "Well, we used to be you." So, you know, what does that tell you? So somewhere along the line, they must have mixed technology or AI with that and changed the whole genome.
But you saying that, right, one of the
Yeah.
biggest cliches, which is totally wrong, is the narrative I've actually pumped out that through films and through media and through comics that you're going to get probed. That don't happen. That probing is more, should we say, man-made than it is actually alien-made. Because I don't think we do get probed. I think we get examined, don't get cut open, we don't get fingers up our bottoms and stuff like that. Like E.T. found home with his big red finger. I don't think we get that because I think it's more. I mean, and you saying about they got something we want. You go back to a film called District 9.
No, I've seen that.
Right.
I remember that.
The one where was it District 9 where they're farming for the oceans and they've got these big machines? Was it District 9?
No, you're talking. The only thing I can think of is when they had.
No, there was another film, and it was a South African film, and they were literally mining and sucking up all the salt water out of the
No,
ocean.
that weren't District 9.
Well,
No, that was
No.
no.
there was a film of a South African origin where they were actually farming the oceans.
That might have been.
Let me find it.
The
Let
one
me
with
find
Tom
it.
Cruise in it. Because they had machines.
It might be
sucking
the
up the
Oblivion
water.
or
Oblivion.
yeah.
I
Let's
think
have a
they're
look.
talking about Oblivion.
Yeah, because District 9 was when there was
yeah.
bugs.
Yeah, that ship came.
Or bug
the
type.
prawns they used to call them. didn't
Yeah,
they?
the
They look like prawns.
Yeah, it was like bug type civilization that was here, and there was what's the term? Discrimination against them because they.
It was District 9 was the prawns, yeah. Was the prawns.
You're talking
2009
about-
science fiction action directed by Neil Blomkamp.
Blomkamp. Yeah, you talk
Yeah.
about probably Oblivion.
Yeah.
That was the one where they're sucking up the water.
I'm sure it was Oblivion, one of them.
But I think it's Stephen Greer that subscribes to the abductions that go on our man-made, but it's the secret.
That's the one, yeah. Sorry, it was Oblivion about the repairmen stationed on Earth been ravaged by war with extraterrestrials mining and farming the water. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think because District 9 was about you know, there were bugs that landed here and they had their own district.
Well, they put them in. They put them in like, say, I mean, like we'd have, I don't know, immigrants going into camps.
Yeah.
But that's how the aliens were. They were processed in camps and.
Of course they were.
Yeah.
You know.
And there was.
They've been where we are now millions of years ago. That's what I feel. I do feel that they've been through what we've been through. But one thing that does question me, I mean, if you think about certain people in human history, right? Let's go to Gene Roddenberry, right? Who created Star Trek, right? Now he set up the Galactic Federation of Planets, didn't he? Right? The Galactic Federation is what we all believe in. There's an amalgamation of different species that control the galaxy and bring peace and harmony, love and light. So let's just say, for entertainment purposes, that Gene Roddenberry wasn't human, and he was sent here in the 50s and 60s to create something that people could actually have hope in. And part of his one fundamental, if you like, foundation things of it is no species can interfere with another species' problems. If you remember right, they always used to say we can't interfere with that planet's problems.
It's a prime directive.
Yes.
Not to interfere with a species that's
You
low
can't-
development stage to go.
Yeah, they can't interfere with their development stage.
So what if that's what they're doing? They can't interfere with us.
Well, look, I've actually been, obviously, you know,
Well, you've met them, so
channeler.
yeah, channel
I've
one.
had information from some species that I've conversed with, not human. They are alien, and it was exactly that issue, that they couldn't interfere with the development of what's going on, but they didn't like what was going on.
No.
Because they could see other races
The
interfering.
nefarious races that were.
Yeah. Say maybe the reptilian. I mean, they're not all bad. You
No.
know, you get good and bad in every.
Of course you do. It's a
Yeah,
balance.
I mean, according to that astral legend, I think some of the reptilians broke away from
Yeah.
from
And
that
some of
race,
them
and,
are
and they
actually
joined the
helping us.
galactic. Yeah.
Some of them are helping us, you know, which you got to give them credit.
Well, they're warriors, aren't they? The Arturians. Sorry,
they've been engineered as a warrior race.
Hmm.
Yes, they have. Yeah, definitely.
So they're the ones that are, you know, I mean, obviously we spoke about this a few months back about the, if you believe in the ice wall theory, that there's a certain gate that they're going through and they're taking them out as they go through it. They're taking all the bad ones out, saying,
Well,
"Oh, you go, get out of here," and they're taking them out.
yeah.
All the 9D Galactic Federation are taking them out, you know, with plasma rifles and stuff like that,
dealt with
because of what they've done.
So, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, the basis of the alien, what I feel, I'm not saying I'm not saying this is correct, but what I feel is that back in the day, 6,000 years ago, with the Anunnaki war against us, or we started the Anunnaki war, tried to overrun for our freedom, and we lost, and there was envious eyes. If you think back to War of the Worlds, Jeff Wayne, yeah, no one believed in the last years of the 19th century that human affairs be closely watched by the timeless world of space. You know, envious eyes watched over us, basically. So I believe that we had certain Anunnaki, certain species that thought, we can control these. We can get what we want out of them. We don't want them rising up, which is what the old saying is. We don't want them knowing who they are. So they keep
done a
us,
good job there, haven't
they feed us bread and circuses, as you know, and we just live our life and think that we're just as important as ourselves.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a metaphorical hamstring, but
Yeah,
you know, put humanity on it. It's like, yeah, you're born, go to school, you do your 9 to 5, you retire, and then you shuffle off.
Yeah.
And that's it.
then you return back to the ether, you return back to the universe because your energy.
You've not done anything. It's just, you know, you've just gone through the motions. You've not actually done anything worthwhile to lift, you know, to lift yourself, to lift those around you.
There is that. I mean, when you die, there's an energy kind of trap, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sort of, you know, your essence is then captured and then reinserted back.
It's a recycling process, isn't it? That energy comes.
That is one of the.
Because I'm a good. I narrate or translate films. So when I watch things like Free Guy or, you know, Project Adam all the latest films that have come out, even like Day After Tomorrow and stuff like that. All the big sci-fi ones, I can see a narrative in it.
I thought They Live was really poignant. And so
Yes.
was V.
Mm.
That was another good one.
He was good, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of films.
Jupiter Ascending.
Jupiter Ascending. Yeah, that's
Brilliant
right.
film.
Brilliant one. Yeah, really good one. That.
And there was another one as well. Was that the one with Sam Neill? Jupiter Ascending.
No, it was
Event Horizon. Event Horizon, which
Yeah.
is a brilliant film.
No.
But if you think back to Star Trek, the motion picture, when they had V'Ger,
Yeah.
right, and an alien form read this message, etc. You know the film,
Yeah.
right? Where it tried to destroy humanity because it thought V'Ger was trying to find its father.
Well, it's funny you should say that because AI. I mean, if you listen to what's his name? Oh God, Ishmael Perez. He
Mhm.
goes on about all the races, and he says about AI. You know, that AI has taken over a lot of these races and corrupted them. You know, and doing changing everything. So
Well, if you was a bad person, you'd want to cover your tracks as best you could, wouldn't you? So you'd make good people sound bad and bad people sound good.
well,
So
yeah,
you'd flip it over.
role reversal, isn't it?
So if let's say for example, let's put an example out there like without using proper names. Let's say you took a president, you made him out to be bad, wrong, and completely incompetent,
Yeah.
and then you put someone who's completely incompetent and make them good out of what it is. You've basically just changed the narrative of people's minds because the certain groups are showing that he's incompetent, but the other groups are showing, oh, bless him, look at him, look, he's suffering.
Yeah,
You know?
because we know we've seen that. However you feel about Trump, that's what happened, wasn't it?
It's like with the film Atlas. I don't know if you've seen the film Atlas
I've
yet.
seen
Yeah.
Atlas, yeah.
Right.
AI,
And the AI, they were saying she's been scorned, obviously, the lead actor.
What, Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, she's been scorned by AI, so she won't ever trust it. And then she trusts it in the end, and it's so beautiful the way that they interact, and it's like there's a narrative there, and you don't, and
Yeah, I know they're pushing that, trying to push that on.
because as you and I know, and also Adam knows as well, we don't know the truth of what the aliens or what the other species
None
want.
of us really know,
No.
do they?
No.
We only feel it inside. We feel our instincts. We're using our instincts and trusting them.
All we know is that history isn't what it is. It's a lie. Everything you know is a lie.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what they call history, don't you? His story.
His story, yeah.
It's basically someone else's story.
Even the good book, the Bible, has been added and taken away and
Yeah.
been doctored.
Even Michael Jackson, back in, was it 92, stood up on stage at one of the music awards and said, don't listen to what the government tell you, don't listen to what the mainstream media tell you, because all your history's lying to you. It's his story, which is why he brought the album out, his story, history. Because it was to try and wake people up. And then you've got to remember what he did with They Don't Really Care About Us and stuff like that, and Leave Me Alone and songs like that. It was all about, they know, but they can't tell us, because if they tell us, they get, obviously, whacked, yeah. And a lot of
Yeah,
people,
that's what I feel. I said for a little while now, I believe Bob Marley's a prophet. That's MJ's as well.
Yeah.
And I took Bob Marley out because they couldn't have someone whose name reaches the four corners of the earth teaching about or singing about, sort of love each other and stand up against those that
yeah.
that want to divide you.
But I like the way he says in one of his songs, when the man come, there will be,
No, do.
yeah.
Mm.
So who's the man?
Yeah. But then if you listen to Get Up, Stand Up, it wasn't Bob Marley that wrote that actually, it was because I've been listening to it tonight, funny enough.
Do you want me to
It was
find out
someone
who it
else that wrote it, yeah.
Get up, stand up.
Yeah. And they're saying like, don't believe in some saviour's going to come down and do it all for you. Basically, do it yourself.
Yeah, there is not going to be no saviour, there's going to be no Superman, it's up for you. Peter Tosh.
Peter Tosh, that's it. Peter Tosh, not Phil Tosh.
1973 album Burning.
Yeah. Were they put here by other beings to bring us out? Because one of the things that reaches everyone is music.
Well, let's just I'm going to put a question to you both. Right, I've got my reasons and I've got my instincts. Would you say that certain, I wouldn't say political, but certain activists, such as Bob Marley, such as Michael Jackson, would you say that they were human, or would you say that they were a form of another race but shapeshifted into human form?
Well, they might be starseeds again. You know, there's a lot. There's many starseeds from different.
What do you
races.
think, Adam?
I mean, Bob certainly sowed his seed, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, particularly Bob. Yeah, I probably MJ as well. But it just as you know, I was singing and you know, when I sing a Bob Marley song, I feel what he's saying.
Yeah, you can tell that.
I can feel the message.
I might actually put that video up on one of the shorts on your channel just to prove, because you actually sing One Love with such conviction. I mean, obviously, I need your permission to do it. So.
Yeah, be my guest. But yeah, there's been certain plants on this world. Martin Luther could have been one.
Yes, because I think all the good they've done, right? You think about this. This is the thing. The way I see things, I look at both sides of the argument, and I look at it and think, right, what one resonates with me, and all I see is a certain, like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all the good they've done for rights and people. Michael Jackson, JFK, all the ones that have done all the things to help humanity have always ended up dead, or always ended up taken out in mysterious circumstances. And it always reflects to me, like, hang on a minute, why would you want to take someone out that wants to change people for the better? And that, no one can argue with any of it by saying, oh, well, it's because they fell out of a plane, the plane crashed, or whatever, or this, they had this, they had that. But every single one of them. I can understand that 20%, 30% of them, but every one of them were taken, had some mysterious, I mean, JFK shot in the head with a sniper.
Yeah, he wanted to release all the CIA stuff.
Yeah. And the CIA didn't want him releasing it, so was it an inside job? No one knows. I'm not getting onto that subject.
It's a bit of a different thing, but
as I say, I mean, people like Gene Roddenberry, they had a narrative to tell people about what the possibilities of space could be, and it gave so many people hope back in the 60s, late 50s, early 60s. People love Star Trek now.
Yeah.
When they're thinking about starting this new Star Trek up, haven't they? What's it called?
I've been watching Strange New Worlds, which is brilliant.
No, they're bringing out a new Star Trek this year. Solaris. Solaris.
Yeah.
I think it is. I'll have to look it up. But there's a new Star Trek starting.
Not heard of that one.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I read about it the other day. They're starting a new Star Trek series.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, if anyone hasn't watched Strange New World, watch it. It's really, really good.
I've watched Strange New World. Yeah.
It's great. It does go.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds, but there's another one as
There's
well.
a lot of spin-offs, isn't there?
Yeah. Because Strange New World takes back to the early days of the Enterprise C, is it?
Yes.
You got Orville as well. The Orville, isn't it?
Yeah.
That might have been what I was talking about. Actually, Strange New Worlds. Yeah.
And it's because it follows Captain Pike before Captain Kirk took the ship on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We see young Kirk in it and Kirk's brother, which I didn't know about, but anyway.
CBS is starting late in production 2024 Starfleet Academy. Star Trek Starfleet Academy. It's basically starting out to introduce young cadets. I think it's going to be like certain timelines where you have the Enterprise B and C, and you have then Picard, the young Picard and all that, and obviously you had what's his name, the guy that played in Quantum Leap bloke.
Oh, Sam Beckett.
Yeah. I can't think what was it. It wasn't Deep Space Nine. He was
Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula, yeah. But what one was he? He was.
He was Enterprise. If there's an Enterprise A, that would have been it.
Yes.
Because he was in the first Enterprise.
Yeah. So that would be. I mean, obviously they'll be doing that Starfleet Academy. So, I mean, there's a lot of. You've got to realise. Well, you must have realised in the past 10 years, the space theme on Aliens and what we do, obviously Event Horizon and stuff like that. You know. Oh, hang on a minute, who's just scored? Someone's just scored, hang on a sec.
Okay. 2 secs.
No, it's half time.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Just still one on.
Yeah, still one on.
Alright.
But if you think about the all the films that come out, they're pumping it into the people's minds. And I'm not being funny.
Odd, is it?
No, I'm not being funny. No one should be scared of aliens because they're not scary. They're not meant to scare you. It's just like you walking down the street. I mean, someone wearing different clothes or different colour skin. It doesn't really make a difference, you know.
No.
As long as you see that individual.
What people got to bear in mind is, you know, if aliens wanted to destroy us, they would have done it in a heartbeat.
We wouldn't have been in.
They've got the technology to just go. That's it.
Well, if you think about the technology, where do we get it from?
You know where
Do-
we got it.
Do you think that back in the day when the civil wars happened and the old muskets with the gun and the gunpowder, do you think we invented that?
Well, Chinese did.
Where do they get it from? They're very spiritual. All their samurai, not the gunpowder.
Well, allegedly gunpowder was for fireworks.
So where did we design like ICBMs
How
and
did you
stuff
think
like that?
up K2NO4, I think, is the chemical code for gunpowder?
We as a race are not that smart. No way that we could have said. I mean, like they say about Isaac Newton and the apple dropping off his head on his head. Oh, gravity, eureka! You know, he
He
didn't
didn't
think.
discover it, he just put a name to it.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't think it up. It was already there, and
The
he
most,
just.
the most smartest person, what I thought, was Tesla.
Yeah.
You know, he's the one that really kicked it all off with big
I
time.
don't think he was human
No, I don't think he was.
because he had such a brain and he could see electrical energy passing through the air. I mean, every sort of formula he had, 3, 6, and 9, was his major 3 numbers that you need for the ether.
Yeah.
For everything. 3, 6, 9. Hypnosis Gaming said, I'm not watching the England match. Oh, sorry, not watching the England match. We kind of are watching it, but on silent in the background.
We're just kicking tabs on it. I'm not betting on this game, I just couldn't call it, so.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just I should do. What do you want
Yeah, go on. Yeah, I will admit, I said when this first started, I've had a little flutter on the past few games. I've come out on tops.
you gambler.
So I don't. I have a flutter once in a blue moon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
to? Well,
so
the Blue Moon, it's by almost every game now, isn't it?
yeah, but this is my big blue moon.
So this is the Blue Moon moment where you're not going to do anything.
This tournament. But yeah, I've got the Dutch and Romanian game. Then the Spanish and French game. No, hang on, it was.
So yeah,
No,
we are Hypnosis. We are watching the game. It's just in the background on silent. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, as I say, I'm not putting a flat on this because I'll lose it.
And the way it's gone so far, it's been a bit up. 16 minutes, 1-0 up, 1-0 down, and then
I
1-1.
hope it doesn't result to penalties again.
Oh, I don't think.
If
so.
it goes to penalties, we'll take that.
I've got enough JD to last, but
You have?
yeah.
Do you want me to ease up then?
No, I've got my hand bottle. But I'm just thinking and I don't think my guts can take it. Here we go. He said, Hypnosis Gaming, as for aliens, Rendlesham Forest stands out. Military forces surely wouldn't get it wrong there. Good reliable witnesses. Yep.
Yeah, that's
That's the base where they are supposed to apparently.
yes.
Is that the one where
there was
Britain's Area 51 is supposed to be?
Yeah, that's Britain's Area
Um,
51.
The Wi-Files did cover it. I'm sure he read my comment because I mentioned looking at the Rendlesham Forest incident on the previous feeds, and then he done a special on it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that the military base where they've got a village of all houses but no fucker lives there?
I don't know if it's Rendlesham that's got that.
Is that the one?
I know what
Because
you're
I
talking
know that there's one where you can drive through
Yeah.
and they pull you out and go, what are you doing? There's
Yeah.
all these houses made up and no one lives there,
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
and it's all done up like a little village.
Yeah.
And it's like, hang on a minute.
I don't think it's
Well, like a
Rendlesham.
ghost
I
town.
know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
But they're all maintained and like proper homes.
What would they do there?
Don't know.
No, I mean, we've got
Obviously
just so
some
much
people
weird
live in it.
shit. First, I mean, for a small country, we've got just as much weird shit going on here as what the States have.
Yeah, but we've got more weird shit.
Yeah. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, it'd be good to take a trip up to Rendlesham.
Yeah, it's not that far up the country, is it?
But we are going to do Bempton first.
Have you seen the Kelly Hopkins incident?
No,
Let me just look that one up.
no, I haven't. No.
Yeah, we've Paul's being oracle for the moment.
Why, man? Oh, do you want to have a beer?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Oh, that's
No, I
right,
just
you can.
said you're doing.
Right, I'm not actually watching what you're drinking, so I can't see through a
Yeah,
brown bottle. So
no,
if you
you're-
want one, just tell me.
Just shout.
Just
Yeah,
like that,
you're
cool.
doing Heather's job at the moment, being oracle.
Well, Oracle.
Oracle.
Oracle, oh right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yes.
if you watch Batman or
Yes.
You're the researcher.
The Arrow.
I'm the butler that's actually
Yeah.
Googling everything. Right, let me have a look. Right. Let me have a look. Kelly Hopkins. Soul Exploration, no, that's not the one. She's definitely not an accountant.
Well, she might be an accountant by day and an alien by night.
How Little Green Men phenomenon began on Kelly Hopkinsville encounter. Encounters claimed a close encounter of extraterrestrial beings in 1955. The community in Hopkinsville, that can't be the one, in Christiana County, Kentucky.
That's got to be it.
Regarded as one of the most significant and well-documented cases of history of UFO incidents, while skeptics say reports are due to the effects of excitement. Okay, so you see little green men in excitement. Okay.
Mm.
What is the thing is, I mean, have you seen the cloud formations lately? Did you see the one that someone took a picture of, posted on Twitter, of a Star Destroyer? The cloud
Oh, I
like
didn't see
Star
that.
Destroyer. And obviously back last year, one of our group, Gary, he posted the USS Enterprise on the seafront, didn't he? Do you remember seeing that?
I think so.
Gary Bush, he took a picture from his front where his Airbnb is. He took a picture of the cloud. It looked like the USS Enterprise. It had the big dome, the engine coming off, and the two bits coming up. Honestly, I'll show you the picture if I can. But it was an amazing picture. So you know.
So, I mean, there we go. So I think yes, Star Trek is.
Yeah, Kelly Hopkins is a place. Yeah, that's the one then. Family was quoted as fighting a alien creature with guns in their homes.
No.
Kelly Hopkins, that's the one in Kentucky then, that's the one we were talking about. Kelly Hopkinsville. Kelly Green Case Men. Claims the evening of August the 21st, 1955, 5 adults and 7 children arrived at Hopkinsville police station claiming that small alien creatures from a spaceship were attacking their farmhouse and that had been holding them off with gunfire for nearly 4 hours. 2 of the adults, Elmer Sutton and Billy Ray Taylor, had to be Billy Ray, didn't it? Claimed to have been shooting a few short, dark figures who repeatedly popped up in the doorway and peered through the windows. Why does that sound like the signs, film signs, but without the guns?
Yeah.
Because it was a farmhouse. Remember, you had what's his name, Racking in Phoenix, and Mel Gibson, and you got the aliens poking through the windows, like running across the farm and all that.
Oh.
You must remember that.
Makes
Yeah, you've
sense
never
now.
seen film signs.
I have.
Because it doesn't make any sense, that
Crop
film.
circles.
But that's based in sort of that era of America.
Yeah, crumbs.
Did you hear the account of Phil Schneider? Who was a construction engineer doing the dams in America.
Yeah.
And he broke through as they were constructing the dams, and he broke through to a section that were occupied by some greys, and there was a gun battle. 60 odd special forces people were in a gun battle.
But you know it's not us fighting it, don't you? You know it's the 9Ds.
And they got killed. Phil Schneider got shot by some kind of weapon, and he lost his fingers, but he survived to tell the tale.
For those who don't understand what a dum is, it's a deep underground military base, and what it is, the alleged theory behind it was that years ago they had an energy weapon that can create tunnels, and what it can do, it can create perfectly formed tunnels, massive tunnels, and there's maglev trains down there. Obviously the technology's only just hit China in this last decade or so, but it's been down there for years. So they get across the underground. Obviously a lot of stuff goes on that we can't talk about because it's non-alien, but yeah, the dums were used to harbour certain alien species, so the rest of us, the normies, wouldn't know about it. I'm just clearing them up on what you say. When you say dums, no one might say, what's a dum?
Underground military bases, dums.
Hypnosis gaming. There was a man who hacked the US government, Gary
McKinnon.
Yeah. I think his name was apparently found in evidence of extraterrestrial evidence.
Yeah.
They tried extradition on him, but the UK
Well,
government
he was looking for evidence of extraterrestrial, and what he actually found was a list of names, and they were all offshore officers, but they were in craft they were allegedly in off-world craft, and that's where it came from. And the US tried for years to extradite him. One of the very few decent things that Theresa May did when she was Home Secretary was block that.
Yeah.
Because he's got Asperger's, and they said if he gets taken out of the States, he won't last 5 minutes. You know,
they'll rip him to pieces.
Yeah, and he'll probably take his own life. So, yeah, one of the few good things that Theresa May did as Home Secretary, not really as Prime Minister, but she blocked that extradition.
Oh, she was good at dancing, not?
Yeah. Stick to robot dancing.
Yep.
But yeah, that's something she did do. And yeah, as I say, Gary McKinnon, he found what we think was evidence of the off-world craft and officers and that the names of the crafts, like SS whatever and SS Dave and SS Bob or whatever they were called, they weren't in the US Navy fleet.
No.
They were off-world craft, and they had names of the people who were like serving on them.
Another question, right? Antarctica Treaty, right? On the subject of aliens, do you think, right, the Antarctica Treaty protects a place where they've found proper alien vessels or proper alien civilizations, maybe allegedly, or something of a UFO, an extraterrestrial nature, which we are not supposed to know about? Because the one thing that appeals to me is, right, every single continent and country has signed the Antarctica Treaty, right, that they will bind to it and stick to it like glue.
Yeah.
But then you've got Israel and Palestine fighting over a bit of land. You've got Syria and all the others fighting. Then you've got all this wars where they can't agree. They can't agree on trade, but they can agree on one bit of ice. We're in the middle of nowhere. It's got nothing on it, but they will protect that to the
Allegedly nothing.
till the cows come home. That to me sparks that everything we see. If they can't agree on a bit of land, but there's a massive bit of ice out there, no one knows what's under it. No one's ever been there. You hear these people say, well, I think about this and that, there should be this under there and all that. There's a wormhole going to the centre of the earth. No one knows what's over there because no one's ever been there. But they can agree on that. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, there's obviously something there that's under wraps there. And then just trying to deflect, maybe
Trying to get their attention away from it.
turn your attention away from it by putting your attention somewhere else. Maybe.
Of course.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean the sort of what we heard goes that the Nazis went there at the end of the war, and they were being helped.
Aided
Aided by Sicilians. I think there was some nefarious Palladians involved as well in advancing the technology. Let's not forget the Nazis actually developed what they called the Nazi Bell, which was an anti-grav craft.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
You can look it up, but yeah, the Nazi Bell was an anti-grav craft.
There you go, some munchies.
Yeah. They did do some kind of technological advances in that way, didn't they?
Yeah.
Right, there's some more things come through. Hypnotic gaming, sorry. I could talk about this all night, but sadly I have to go to work, so have a good stream, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will be doing a part 2 of this because we'll have Gloria.
Yeah, Gloria.
So we will be following this up on the first Wednesday of August. So you can catch up with the rest of it then.
And you can obviously
we'll watch this back.
We'll re-go over this stuff as well again. So
yeah, and you can watch tonight's one back as well. But yeah, I mean the Nazi thing. It's I mean the Operation High Jump, which was Admiral Byrd.
Yep, that's right.
Allegedly took an expedition down there. Yeah, and there were all sorts of they got their clocks clean basically by soldiers.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Now the Y-Files did cover that as well, and he did debunk some of the stuff of that. Like when he said Admiral Byrd said he flew over Antarctica and saw greenery and trees and God knows what else. And he did. I can't remember exactly, but I know Y-Files did debunk some of the story, but
Excuse me, I'm just going to use an H break.
Rudy's going to go call an H. Just good job the mic there. Isn't it?
Yeah, don't take the mic with you.
I'm not taking that with me.
No.
Because you know,
Take some onion rings with you, that do you?
Yeah.
Actually, don't take too
Do
many.
you know what? Yeah.
Be like donuts.
I never thought I'd get a phone call from a vegetable, and then onion rings.
Really. I knew it won't be long before a joke come out, yeah.
That was Catherine that sent me that joke, so don't blame the messenger.
All right, then. I mean, you look at people that look like other species.
Mm.
I mean, Mark Zuckerberg doesn't look human. He doesn't.
No.
I don't care what anyone says, he doesn't. Right, who's the other one as well? What's his name?
I mean, Tesla was a odd looking fella.
Yeah, he was. But back in the day, I mean, they all looked similar like that, didn't they? The moustache and...
Mm.
It was a bloke thing, I suppose, back then.
Yeah, but...
I mean, where these days most blokes want to look like women and most women want to look like men.
oh, they don't. It's only a tiny proportion. We're just...
Minorities, yeah. I know.
Yeah, we're just trying to be told... We're trying to be told to think that way.
Yes, it's like anything, you know.
Yes, it's trying to change your perceptions. But, I mean... I don't want to talk about this, but I had a... thing was in a Catholic a while ago, and there was a young girl, and she looked like there was something about her. She just seemed like she'd been put here. And I couldn't really go up to her dad and say, "Look after your child" or whatever, because it just sounded weird. But I sort of looked and thought, "Yeah, you're different."
We've all come across that,
Mm.
where someone walks into your life or walks past you, and you have to double look because you think your intuition kicks in, and you're like, "Nah, can't be."
I saw another job like it the other day. It's just yeah, you're another. You know, you sort of spot these things. I know how weird that sounds.
It's not weird. If you was to go through, let's go through the Bible on the attack of aliens. Nephilim would have been aliens to us.
Yeah.
Right, they congregated with human females to create.
Well, it was the it was the Watchers that interbred with human females.
No, there was an attempt.
Oh, was it?
It was
throwing.
the Watchers, or what were the fallen angels that became fallen angels that saw human females, thought they were really pretty and bred with them.
Well, human females are really pretty. Come on.
No,
But then again, we're human, so.
yeah, we're naturally inclined to think that way.
I mean, you don't look at a woman with 3 arms, 4 legs, and 2 heads. And well, actually, to be honest, back when I was a kid, and this is a bit jovial, changing the subject slightly. Total Recall, when that woman had the 3 tits,
Oh yeah.
3 breasts. Sorry, I do apologise. That was quite erotic, I have to admit. When I was like 15,
What, did you turn on by the three locks?
I was a kid. Come on, who didn't look at Total Recall when she went like that, and she's got a 3, you know, and you're like, oh yeah, I wish I had 3 hands, man.
No, I thought just out in my head, but I really can't do it on camera.
Yeah.
If
it's too bad, don't think it. Don't say it.
No, don't say it. No. So yeah, I mean, you know, we there are others here. It's just
Well, we'd be pretty,
What
what
was
do you call it? If we thought we're the only ones here, we would be pretty...
the question I asked Adam?
bad,
Right,
wouldn't
people that you know or people you've seen, whether it's on the TV or certain people. I kicked it off by saying I reckon that Mark Zuckerberg looks like he's not human. Just with his face, the way his face is linear, and I don't believe he's human. So that's what the question I asked Adam. Who do you think isn't?
There's a lot of shapeshifters going around. Now we look at what they say about, honestly, about the royal family and bits and pieces, you know, around the world. You know, you draw your own conclusions, really. But I wouldn't sort of, you know, I mean, David Icke is,
Seen his latest one
yeah,
about the government.
yeah.
Oh my God! It's like, yeah, okay. He's come out of the woodwork saying about old comedy Kia.
Kia.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a lot to be said, isn't it, really? I mean, because, you know, they have connections, don't they? So, draw your own conclusions, don't you?
Every time they talk about the shadow government, all I keep thinking is Shadow men, but
who,
of an alien form.
who is pulling the strings?
That
You
is the
you
question.
You never ever.
You're never going to see them.
You never see them. Never.
It's like Secret Santa. You never find out who that is.
Doesn't that go back to was it wasn't Roosevelt, was it Eisenhower? Who allegedly done deal with alien
Yeah,
races?
he done some deals with certain races where they're offering technology if you know, if they could take a few people.
Yeah, they could abduct humans and do what they want.
But I don't see how you can stop that. I mean, how would you stop? You couldn't stop it anyway, could you?
I remember back as a kid. I don't know if it was on a film or whatever, on the news or whatever. I don't think it was on the news, but I remember hearing somewhere that a certain president was told by another race, "We're giving you 50 years or X amount of years to tell the population of this world about us, or we will." Does that ring a bell with you? Back in the 60s, Roswell, 59, that sort of thing. And they were given a certain time which would bring it up to this, roughly about now. And now we've, what? I mean, I'm not being funny, as I said to you the other day. A year ago, we had the news saying we might not be alone in the world, and here's a spaceship flying through the middle, and apparently the navies, American navies, actually disclosed it. And the Air Force has disclosed that they've been chasing certain, they're not called UFOs now, what are they called?
UAPs.
UAPs, right? So they're chasing these things that don't look of man-made. Right? In my lifetime, I never thought I'd see that, but it's kind of like, hang on a minute, what are they trying to get? Because they won't tell you something unless it's for a reason. Because obviously everything's a narrative to weaken you and loosen you up and dilute you down to
Well,
it.
no, yeah, I mean, they do certain things to nudge you in certain directions. Don't they, anyway?
Yeah, because I mean, remember, even back to the 80s, even 90s, if pilots were told if they saw anything unusual, shut up.
Yeah. They had NDAs as
you,
well,
you
right?
get, you'd lose your wings. And now it's, it's a slow release of the information, but is that, because it's mainstream media, is that a false flag? Because Stephen Greer has alluded to that a lot of the stuff that we deem to be UAPs are actually man-made.
Well, the TR3 is
That's the one I'm thinking of.
The
Triangular.
TR3 and the TR3B are classic examples of human alien technology, aren't they?
And then you got
Well, it's reverse engineered from something.
and you got the alien replica vehicles as well, which they've got like a skirt and a dome, and it uses like electromagnets to create anti-gravity
Like the
and
magnets.
propulsion. Yeah, and that's how they move. But you can kind of spot them as they progress, because the old ones, or the first ones that come out, had the big domes on the side of the dome, which were for cameras. And of course, like in the 50s and 60s, the cameras themselves were big, yeah. So therefore, the domes that held them would be big. But obviously, we moved on, and technology's progressed, and we've got.
I've got a camera there that is exactly 10 mil wide by 25 mil long. I can show you it. Go in there. And it's so small, it's tiny.
Yeah.
3 wires coming off it. So you can plug it into a USB. It was meant for what they call one of the sewage cameras on a snake.
Yeah.
And it broke, so I took it the camera out, and
Right,
it's literally not even an inch long.
Not an endoscopy.
I used to work with them at Olympus. So I used to fit them into the endoscopies.
That's it there.
Cables.
That's it there, Adam.
Yeah.
Show them there, look.
Yeah. Very small.
That is a little camera, and that is a 1080p camera. Look at the size of it. Look, there's one chip on it, and surface mount technology.
Like I said, I used to fit that and the fibre optics into the into the head of the endoscopy.
Here's a question for you.
Like that.
I implore you to ask any electrical engineer or electronic engineer how an LCD TV works. No one knows. It's magic. It is, literally. I've studied it. And I don't get the technology. I don't get with the quartz liquid crystal they put in between two sheets of glass with an electrode that actually lights it up. But there's no dot matrix there. So at least with a CRT, you know it's scanning lines on a screen.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but you've got
But
the
liquid
same-
crystal
You've got,
only
the,
has
sa-
pixels.
you've got the same technology in mobile phones, though.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
where did that
that's just
technology
go
come
down.
from? Was that reverse engineered?
Yeah, because it's amazing how quick we went from CRT, and obviously we had the smaller LCD screens for for monitors, but we went from CRT to plasma, and plasma was literally over as soon as it started because we then went to LCD.
Yeah. Liquid crystal.
Mm.
Now, I know it's got a certain matrix on it, but
That's wrong, not LCD, LED.
LED. Well, no, it was LCD, liquid crystal, then it was LED.
Yeah.
And now it's gone to the ULED, Ultra LEDs and all that, which are 4K and 8K. I mean, the 8K now, I mean, there's that's unreal. So, did we invent that? I do think we're intelligent enough, but I don't think we're that smart to do it. So I think it's been, obviously, a certain sort of things have been nudged their way and said, have a look at this. They reverse engineered it, worked out how it works,
Yeah.
and made it.
A lot of the technology now has been reverse engineered from other stuff. I mean, there's quite a few patterns that are yet to be disclosed, aren't they? I mean, even the 3D printers. I mean, look at that technology.
Yeah, plastic that's heated up with a high temperature, which maps on a certain grid, 200 by 200 mil. I had one, so I know the theory how it works, but how it works, you're like,
Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
yeah.
I mean, you know, I know when you used to see Star Trek and you used to watch their communications.
One of them.
Yeah, it's a processor.
Yeah, right. You think there's loads of layers of circuit boards on that?
And how many of them are there? Small little chips or in one
Exactly.
chip?
They call them transistors. On it, there's like 20 trillion transistors on it.
And now they've got quantum computers.
Mm.
God only knows how many there are on that.
The latest CPUs can do 24 CPUs in one module, and they're not that big. And you think that's only been in the past 5 years. They've gone from single core to dual core, then they went up to 4 core, then went 8, 16, and now they're up to 24, and it's going to be 32 next year. How the hell, you know?
Yeah. And technology is progressing so fast.
Player 2 is into the chat room.
How we doing?
Still 1-1.
Yep, still 1-1 in it.
Yeah, Dutch just had a shot.
Yeah, we had a shot earlier.
So it's going to reduce the penalties on.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's going to go.
Oh, I don't want to see that again. Extra time, okay. Do something.
If we win, there's an agenda. Trust me.
Well, I think we stand a chance against the Spanish, weirdly. But getting past the Dutch, as I said, they're playing really, really well when I watched them.
I don't, well, someone at school was saying this morning we ain't got a hope in hell if we get through to Spain, because Spain's just like on the ball.
If we can get past the Netherlands, we can do Spain.
Yeah. That was a good save actually by
Jordan
Pickford.
Pickford.
Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Yes,
Neil Hyde, hello chaps.
Hello, Neil.
Oh,
So we went slightly off pace because I didn't realise when I said we'd do this that
football.
we'd still be in a tournament. But here we are. So yeah, just again, yeah, we're talking about aliens, alien agendas. It's all for entertainment purposes only. But yeah, I mean, we as a human race have more and more people are starting to realise that we're more than what we are. And whether
Yeah,
that is
Far more than what we
that
are.
is a
It's an awakening in itself.
yeah, that's a guidance from from the galactic Federation, you know, those involved
But
with
here's
it.
the
I
thing.
think so.
Here's the thing that's going to bake your noodle, right? It bakes my noodle every
Nothing
single.
makes my noodle.
JD makes your noodle.
Yeah,
So I
JD
love that
does.
term. I found that in the film Matrix, where the
Yeah,
I
so
used to say- I used to
what's
say
really
that.
going to bake your noodle is if you're going to
If I
noodle.
told you about the vice,
Basically,
would
my
you not
noodle
share?
Yeah.
is.
So what's really going to bake your noodle about this is the fact is, what if we were sent here in the 70s, you obviously 59, Adam 73, 74, me 75, and we were certain, as you say, star seeds, and we were given access to this stuff to be here when the time was right. Not to change people, but when things kick off, to be there for people.
Yeah, I do believe that. I believe we were put in on here to help, you know, push the human race along.
Neil, don't mention his name again. You were in trouble last
Yeah.
time. Don't mention the Mr.
Oh,
you know.
Here we
Yeah,
go, Neil.
that was a completely different
He
thing.
put
though,
no
to
one
this.
mentioned R. Kelly tonight. He got me in a lot of trouble last time. Yeah, please don't mention that one again. We don't want to go down that road.
No. I don't know.
It's,
Even though he was an alien-looking motherfucker.
of R. Kelly, I
Yeah.
suppose so, yeah.
He believed he could fly, didn't he? So, anyway, enough of that.
Yeah. So, God, bloody hell, that's just found me. Oh, okay.
Go on, spit it out.
I mean, one of the things,
Just spit it out, not cough
I
it
mean,
out.
you know, the spiritual awakening is going on. I mean, is that guidance? Because, well, it's a bit of a rhetorical question. Is that guidance? Because we know it is.
Of course he is.
But you know, just taking the, you know, the thing we've done in the park at certain points in the year, the meditation thing that we've had in the parks. I mean, when that started, there was only a few people that went, and the last sort of couple, there was a lot more people. So, you know, that resonance is feeding out, and it's not just that group. You know, it's going on all
I
over the
kind of
place.
believe, and I kind of feel, and it's only my opinion, I kind of believe that we were here for this, and we've been put here for this, because this awakening, not being funny, you go back to 2010, 2012, the world seemed just a normal place. It was shit. Everyone was in the same boat, and no one really give a toss. Right, the news were banging on about, you know, this war in this country, that war in that country, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, and it was all just pumped into you, and no one really paid attention because it was like, oh, fuck, I don't know about that shit. Now, you've got all these agendas to distract you from what's happening, and people are failing to realise to look up in the sky to see what's happening.
Yeah.
Right, the sun. This is something that I'm passionate about. When I was a kid, I remember the sun being orange, and I remember the sun going down, a bit pinkish, bit orangey, reddish when it went down. It's just fucking white now, and it's bigger than ever. So what the hell is going on? Don't you know? I mean, surely someone else must have noticed it. I mean, there was a video on TikTok and obviously a few other platforms saying about, is it a solar sun? Is it a man-made sun? Is it due to the awakening? And I suddenly thought about that, and I thought, what if the sun's got whiter, hotter and brighter because it's actually energising us? What if that was something, taking it away from the spiritual side, but what if because it's aliens, what if an alien civilization decided to, let's say, upgrade our sun? And the UV rays and the energy coming from the sun is actually awakening us.
Maybe that's what they're trying to block out with the chemtrails.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's all about frequency.
Of course it is.
We live on frequency. If you change the frequency, it changes a lot of abilities in us as well.
Neil said he has been abducted. I have no explanation for it. The year was 1995. Well, tell us about it then, Neil,
Spill
please.
the beans, Neil. Come on.
Yeah.
And please, no metaphors or jokes about this.
No.
'Cause
All those plants.
we will listen to you with anticipation. But I just think that the sun, no one's really talking about it. I mean, everyone's starting to talk about the chemtrails now, and you know, it's like bloody, as I said to you, it's like the old 80s and 90s Halifax advert up there. It's like everywhere you look, and you know damn well that after that happens, the next day it's raining, or for 3 days it's raining. If we had a blue sky, guaranteed the next day they'll be spraying, and the next thing we've got bad weather again. It's cloudy. I mean, it's what, the 10th? It's almost the 10th of July, and we haven't got above 23 degrees yet.
No.
But for the past 10 years, it's been 25, 26 at this time of year.
Yeah. When the go just flashed off and said that.
He said, I've only ever told 3 people until now.
Yeah, no, we're all ears. I mean, I've had, you know, I had an experience when I was 6, 7 years old. I mean,
What about with aliens?
yeah, this was reptilian. What was up?
God.
I mean, I was abducted, but they tempted
Tell
me.
us about that, mate. Tell us about
They tempted me with JD, so I went right with them.
I woke up. I'd seen this. It was. I thought it was a dinosaur. You know, just how it looked to me. But
that, mate. Yeah.
um,
They're sizable, aren't they?
yeah, that's what I thought it was. But I just remember it scared the crap out of me.
Mm.
And it woke me up. I rarely wake up from a nightmare. Not that I don't have, you know, I don't have many, if I'm honest. But that woke me up. I'm like, shit, there's something in my room. And I don't know what it done, whether it come in to block me, to block whatever my gifts were. That's why they're coming out now.
Well, maybe it was just a delay, so you
Maybe it was curious.
for the right time to save your energy till you're ready.
So as I said, it
What you do.
scared me. I just I very rarely get scared, but it was there.
A lot of people's dreams, they think are dreams.
Mm.
What if those dreams are actually reality? What happened to them while they were asleep?
Yeah,
Well,
I think that was.
We do slip in and out of
Consciousness
kind
and-
of
different realms, yeah.
different kind of frequencies.
And it was Karen that was saying the other day, she knows someone that had an event, and what it was a ship, all these lights on it in the sky. They woke up, and they called the police.
Which Karen talked about?
Karen Hunter.
Oh, right.
And she said she remembers them talking about it and remember about it. And she said they called the police. The police come and they were looking up at the sky thinking, you know, and this is before camera phones.
Yeah.
So they were saying, what is that? What is that? They got scared and the police were going, we don't know. What are we supposed to do about this? You know,
Yeah.
and they had people ringing them up from like, at the time, NASA and England's version of it, and they were ringing them up saying, what can you see? Can you see any lights? Can you see this? Can you see? And everyone was interested, but they wouldn't put it on the news. Why? She said that was in the late, I'm sure, I might be wrong on it, late 80s, early 90s. She was only a kid at the time when I think she said she was in her teens or 20s.
Right.
But she said she remembers it because her friend went through it. So if you realise that, then obviously they've been trying to make contact or trying to make themselves aware.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know. We could have seen one or two in our lifetime without even knowing it. And as you say, you had experience. And Neil put, it was Christmas Eve, walking to the pub to meet a recent friend at the time. I only lived 15 minutes from the pub. Got away from the type, so.
Yeah.
We really want to hear about this, Neil, so. But your experience, if you ask me what I thought about it, I'd say, yeah, it happened. I can feel your conviction in it. But I'd say they were stopping you from awakening too soon. Obviously, there's a plan, and there's a reason why you wasn't awakened earlier, because obviously you wouldn't do. But you saying that, this paranormal stuff, right? We've had more incidents of paranormal with non-human spirits. We have, haven't we?
Yeah, when we've been together, yeah.
We've had more non-human interactions, and I'm wondering if the late rising of paranormal activities is nothing more. It may be spiritual, but I think it's more extraterrestrial. I think it's more an awakening process for us to communicate. Because obviously we're supposed to have telekinesis. We can't use it because obviously we've been dumbed down, you know, with certain injections from our birth and stuff like that, all the crap we eat. And if we're not using that ability, they don't want us using that ability.
So how comes then that I can still use some ability?
But I'm not saying no one can.
No,
but there's only a minimal amount that can.
Is that just restarted?
No.
Oh, there's one.
There's plenty out there who can still use
No,
their
still live.
abilities.
As
I
a
just had a
stop.
message flash up there just saying you're now live.
No, it's still live. It's got 1 minute 10. So 1 hour 10.
That's weird.
Paul,
You haven't got.
said there are still people out there who can still use their abilities. So why is that?
Well, if you
I
think
know we're at different levels of.
if you think about putting 1 million people in a row, right? A percentage of those people are going to have a gift in certain ways. Others are going to have some gift in certain ways. You've got to remember, they can dilute everyone down, but there's some people that are immune to it. There's some people that can get over it. So, like
Well,
yourself,
some people can block it.
some people can block it. But they're the ones they give all the bad luck to, because obviously the ones that get the bad luck. Think about it logically. Think about the system, right? Think about what they don't want you doing. They don't want you knowing what you are. They keep you in fear. They keep you low. They stop you finding out what's going on up there. That's my opinion. So when they bung this another hurdle in front of you, you get over it. It's just a test. It's just a test, because you can fight it. Otherwise, they wouldn't give it to you. You can get over this test. You can get through it, and they're like, I think of yourself with like.
So it's like basically a, what do you call it? A mouse in a maze, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You'll get through it.
And you've got obstacles in there. They put more obstacles as you go, as it cures that one. There's another one that cures that one. There's another one.
And there's a big ass fuck off cat sitting there looking at you, watching you over the maze, going, "I'm gonna get you." That's what it is. But you know damn well you can run faster than it. That's the reason why mice can run faster than cats. There's always going to be some metaphor there to get you through something. But if you couldn't do it, they wouldn't give you it. I don't look at tests as, oh, I've got bad luck. I look at them as, it's a test. It's a lesson that I've got to learn, and I've done it many times before.
Yeah,
Let's just do it.
I have to think that now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not being funny, the world can't be that shit. If you look at the yin and the yang and the balance, the world can't be that shit, and it's only your mind that creates your reality, which is what.
Yeah, your mind restricts you. Yeah, it does. I mean, you know, if they set up the tools, and then it's going to restrict you.
Oh, that was a goal. Is that an England goal? That was an England goal.
Hang
That was
on.
an
Hang
England
on.
goal.
Hang on.
Hang on, is he going to allow it?
2 secs.
Saka. Saka again. Oh, look at this goal. Look. Was it offside?
Right. Well, no, that wasn't offside. Oh, sweet. That wasn't offside.
Saka. Nice goal from Saka there. 2-1.
Well done, Saka.
Like I said, I'm glad I didn't put a bet on.
If they make that, I'll tell you what. If they can carry on like that,
We've got a chance.
we've got a bloody chance. How many minutes left? That is 79 minutes.
Right, so we've got 11 minutes of normal play left. Oh no, hang on, they've disallowed it.
What? No.
Offside. We're back. Sorry about that. We got disconnected. Maybe
Kane's come off, Phil Foden's on.
I think Kane's got a head injury because obviously he got that. Sorry, leg injury. Sorry, because he's been holding his leg as he's been running. So
I mean, if we get through tonight, obviously we're needing for the final.
that was disallowed, but then it was offside. So that's wrong.
Yeah. No, well, anyway.
Anyway, 3-2-1. We're back in the room.
Yeah.
You just gone back live now, so you was.
Literally back in the room because we went off at the same time.
Yeah, as soon as England scored and the goal was disallowed, the feed cut.
Yeah. So why did I get the message on here first and then it went? I don't know. That's odd.
That's weird.
A lot of the phones have been acting up. My mum's phone.
The timelines are shifting.
Yeah, it could be right.
Do you think so?
Time is getting faster. Do you not notice it? It's getting faster and faster and faster.
My birthday again next week.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're July already. I can remember like last week Christmas.
Right, anyway.
Where was we? Oh yeah, back into
to
the abilities, obviously, of
How our alien guides.
Do you know who your alien guide is?
Well, I said, but I know my Palladian. I don't exactly know who it is, but I think. Well, I know I've got my Viking guides, but they're one of the same. They could be one of the same thing.
Right, Neil's come back with 5 minutes. I'll read the previous question, Neil. It was Christmas Eve, walking to a pub to meet a recent friend at the time. I only lived 15 minutes from the pub. And then he put 5 minutes into the walk. I thought after a while, God, this is a long road. Walking, walking, walking. God, this is a long road. Got to be a junction. I recognised it, but it was 30 minutes away. So basically, you was in.
So he's lost time.
What they call it, paralysis, where you're basically reliving one of those tunnel moments on the films where you see the tunnel, the road's getting longer and longer and longer, and you're walking longer, but you're not seeing it. So that could be actually alien because
paralysis.
I can't remember. It begins with P, but it's not psychosis, but it's kind of a para something. But it's basically where your mind alters the state of the road of the corridor road you're walking to make it longer and longer and longer.
Your mind is very
In the opposite direction.
Oh, that's weird. So somehow he's turned.
He's basically turned around without even knowing it. So he's walking down this road.
Well, something's turned you around.
You think of there's a film, it's Insidious, The Lost Key, where that woman's walking down there's a woman walking down a corridor, and the corridor's getting longer and longer and longer. No matter how fast she runs, that corridor's getting longer and longer, and then she realises that she's actually been turned around. She's actually running away from the door, but it's getting longer and longer and longer. So that's basically what he explained. But that can be mind altering. That could be a control of your mind because
disorientating, isn't it? Yeah.
Because our minds have got fail-safe mechanisms in it to stop us. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, that would have been another goal if they hadn't got there. Oh, that's another foul? No, it wasn't. Sorry. So, what else happened, Neil?
Yeah.
How was you feeling? I jogged to the pub from another route. Got to the pub in 30 minutes late. And my new friend wasn't there.
Oh.
So do you think that your new friend, because you said he was a new friend, do you think that he was actually planted there for you to go through this, if you like, this journey of you going through a timeline of something that would normally take you 15 minutes, took you 30 minutes plus? Like you wasn't meant to get there on time. No, he doesn't.
Okay.
So did he lose time?
Are you saying that you lost time, Neil? Because that's normally a sign of
Time losses, yeah. No sign that.
you've been taken out, put back at a certain timeline, which is 20 minutes
That's
later
what I
or
said,
30
you
minutes
lose
later. Yeah.
time, So
Well, our fart machine ain't gone off tonight, is it?
No, it's been really quiet.
but I know you're thinking.
K2's been off a few times.
Oh, it's just gone again, look.
And there, look.
Hello, K2, whoever's here.
That's possible, but I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. My phone's connected to the
He wouldn't
Wi-Fi.
be, it's too far away from you.
I know these sets them off.
I mean,
Yeah, but that's
right
close.
on top of it.
But that's not right on top of it.
But these set them off as well, the mic things.
That's more than a metre, so it wouldn't affect it. So
I got sacked from my job at Wicks for violent conduct. It all started when my supervisor said, "There's a guy in aisle 6 that needs decking."
I never been thinking you're being serious.
No, it's because, I put that joke up on Facebook earlier
Yep.
about
The cat gets chipped.
Yeah, well, I said, the cat needs a chip. I only had an iron on, but I got it over the shed.
Yeah. I was pissing myself for that one.
I just come up with the title. It's that Robert. Yeah, I just thought, that got me. So I left him a comment and said, I thought I used to be a cat, but I'm a white meow.
Oh, dangerous game there up our end.
Yeah, it's gone quiet all of a sudden. So
Yeah.
I'll take the vices and go for another nature.
That's it. No, I thought I was a cat once, but look at me now.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to leave my job at the cat rescue centre. They cut me hours.
Couple of hours.
Oh, you're supposed to be on this bloody.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm
What's
sorry.
the matter with you?
I
What's
know,
the
it
matter?
just
We're
popped
supposed to be
up.
on aliens,
I
not.
know.
Unless you got any alien
He's
jokes.
always on his bloody phone, isn't he? Come
Yeah.
on.
No, I just saw something flash up and that was on there. Yeah, because it was, I said it just flashed up the email saying you're live. Oh no. But it was actually from an hour ago. Why it just messaged me now and then it went off? That was weird. Yeah, no, what? No.
You like?
I mean, if we talked about dad jokes, I could always go down the road of my wife told me,
Oh, don't bother.
don't get upset if people call you fat. You're much bigger than that.
Oh, Christ.
No, I was 30 minutes late for the pub date. I gave myself time to be at the pub early. So you did lose time then, because obviously if it takes you 15 minutes and you turn up 30 minutes late, that means that you were 15 minutes late. Which is one of the usual signs of abductions or certain things like that. Loss of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did lose time then.
Yeah.
That's that is one of the signs, isn't it?
It'd be funny if you had went to have a regression under hypnosis to see what actually happened.
Yeah,
I'd be very surprised.
Yeah.
Or shocked.
That's one thing I kind of find is basically a narrative changer, because this hypnosis, it's witchcraft of the mind, isn't it? It's altering the spiritual guidance, the spiritual equilibrium of your brain. So are they manifesting and putting words into your mouth for you to believe that something happened, or is it to take it away? Because you should be able to remember naturally with your own gifts, surely. Obviously you won't there and then at the time, because obviously, certain things in life can actually take your memories away from you. We know a certain stuff that can actually do that, which they use in the medical industry. But I don't believe in hypnosis. I think it's I mean, I may be wrong, and everyone's got an opinion on it. I just think it's a little bit hocus pocus for the brain. It's a mind fuck of the brain. That's what I feel. Because if you're delving into the brain to hypnotise someone, that means their conscious self is protecting them from what they need to know. And going into it is manipulating it, and I don't find that, it doesn't gel with me. If that makes sense.
But if there's but I mean, the flip side, if there's a reason why you are what you are, where you're doing certain things, and you've got this compulsion to know why you're doing it, then maybe the hypnosis thing is.
Yeah, maybe it can work.
It's also it can unleash a can of worms, or it can unlock.
It can unlock stuff. It can alter your perceptions and the way you think.
England just scored again.
Okay.
And that goal wasn't disallowed. And it was that Bellingham?
Wunderbar.
Hang on a minute. That was Bellingham, I think. Who was that?
Are we going to start singing Hey Jude? Yeah. Oh, seriously, that's what they're saying with Bellingham.
Oh, and what's his name? Netherlands got a yellow card for trying to stop him.
Okay.
Oh dear.
So they have got that's a legit goal.
I'm sure that was Bellingham.
That's good stuff.
That guy there.
And how long
yes.
we got left?
The one there being hung.
Yeah, that I think that's. Oh no, Bellingham ain't got threads.
Sorry guys, England.
Him there.
Oh no, that's not Bellingham.
No, the young bloke was. Watch the goal. Right?
Hang on.
You watch this, it comes over there, bang, he's there, look, watch this, look.
Bang! Straight that
Ooh.
way.
That was a sweet goal, isn't it?
What a goal!
That's Saka, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks
Oh,
like
that's
it.
not Stacker. No. Stacker's,
No, it's Bellingham.
That's Bellingham.
Yeah, Bellingham, yeah, it was Bellingham then.
Bellingham. What a superb.
19, yes, Bellingham. Wow, what a goal. So that should have been 3-2, 3-1,
And it's 91 minutes.
and there's 2 minutes left.
Whoa!
That's it. We've done it all the time.
Right, I'm off to the.
Wow. So we actually won. Oh my God.
We
I
got
was.
time.
And we've got like 2 minutes, so we've got 30 seconds left of the game. Because obviously 90 minutes plus 2.
Yeah, I'm
we
going to
actually
look it
beat Netherlands. Oh, Simmons got a yellow card.
up. Okay.
So he's not in. Well, he's not in.
Well, you won't be in it anyway.
No. Yeah, thank you for that, Neil. Yeah, 2-1.
Sorry.
He must have seen that. Oh, he must be watching that. Oh, there's a delay on the thing.
Yeah, I had that the other because I did the other day when I was coming around here and we was on penalties with Switzerland.
Here we go. Yeah, go another one. Yeah, because it should have been 3-1, but obviously that one was disallowed from
Yeah.
Saka. Right, Wild Witch. How did Betty Hill draw a picture of the Star Zeta?
Oh, that was Betty and Barney Hill. Yeah. Yeah, that was the. I know it weren't Watkins that scored that. That wasn't Bellingham.
Was it? I thought number 19.
It looked like Bellingham from behind, but no, it's Watkins.
No, Bellingham's. Yeah, number 7. That's right. Yeah. But it's
Um,
all over. England won. Or they're going to substitute.
probably so.
You had to waste 30 seconds. There's only 30 seconds left of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Betty and Barney Hill. Yeah, the reticular thing, because they were the. I think.
Educate me on Star Zeta. What is Star Zeta?
The zeta reticular system is allegedly where the greys come from, or the brunt of the greys come from the zeta reticular system. It's I think it's a binary.
Hmm?
I think it's a binary star system.
Wild Witch. Hello, Wild Witch, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Hello. Excuse me.
How did Betty Hill draw her star map before it was even discovered?
Mm.
It's the same as if you go down Nostrafundrum. He had a dream where he could see all the realms of every single. He doesn't believe in the planets. He believes in realms on one big plane or one world. So it's the same as him with. Obviously, I don't know Betty Hill. I had to look up Betty Hill, but obviously she drew a star map before it was even discovered, which kind of.
And then you go back to I mean with the zeta reticular system. Was it Sirius? No, I think it's zeta reticular. The you might be able to answer this.
What? What?
Is it the Dogon tribe or the
Betty Hill.
What?
Is it the Dogon tribe or what's the native Australians? Aborigines.
Aborigines,
Yeah.
Oh, she was
who
under hypnosis.
Who knew where the zeta reticular system was?
Well, don't forget they believe in dream time.
Mm.
This is the dream time, isn't it?
Hmm.
That we're in. So, well, I don't know what.
Cheers.
What did you say? Zeta reticular. I
Yeah.
knew where that was.
No, Betty Hill. She drew a star map before she was discovered
Yeah.
under hypnosis.
Remember Betty and Barney Hill? They were abducted back in the 50s.
Wow.
It was very unusual because they were an American couple, no mixed race.
What?
It was a mixed race couple,
Mixed race?
but yeah, Barney was black and Betty was white,
All right.
which is a very unusual thing for the States back then. But they were abducted.
Controversial, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were abducted, and she was able to draw the Zeta system before it was even discovered. Well,
Well, I mean the star positions and that.
yeah, the star system, yeah, Zeta reticular.
Zeta reticular.
I'll have to look into that 'cause I've never heard that.
And if I remember, they were also visited by the Men in Black.
Who wasn't?
Betty and Barney were visited by the Men in Black because they were going public with what they.
Yeah, well, they didn't want the narrative
They were
getting out.
abducted.
They won't let. They will kill them.
And England have won 2-1.
Well-
Ended full time, and England are through to the finals.
Do you know what that means?
We
What I
My
say?
pubs are going to be quiet.
Do you know what I said? What did I
Well,
say?
we'll go
If
for
we
the
get
final.
through tonight,
Mm.
then obviously that's a distraction from something else. You watch.
Well, yeah, we know Comedy Kid's gone with NATO and told Zelensky.
Oh, has he?
He has, yeah, and he's told Zelensky he can have UK weapons to fire on Russia.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
then means that
we
oh,
all know
God, you know the agenda's coming up, don't you?
we all know what Starmer's all about.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Zelensky is now officially, well, allegedly, this is for entertainment purposes only, allegedly in the realms of dictator because he's gone outside. They were supposed to have their elections a few months ago.
What? Ukraine.
Because there's martial law, because there's a war on,
Yeah.
He is now an unelected president.
Oh, what surprise.
Mm.
I mean, how many of those have we got?
Oh, exactly.
I can think of one right now that's just been put in office.
We've
I mean,
got one.
Yeah, look what's happening in France with Le Pen.
Yeah, but don't forget, she is far right.
Yeah, Canada.
I'm just going to say one thing.
Trudeau.
Reform, 4.1 million. Lib Dems, 3.6 million. How do they get 56 more seats
Then four or
than
five candidates
5
a week.
in the reform?
Yeah.
Sorry, reform.
By having another 600,000 votes.
But it just shows you how it's rigged.
Yeah.
Dominion?
It always has been.
Dominion? I don't know, maybe.
Well, it always has been, and with like, this is a story for another day, but
Yeah, this ain't aliens.
no, but just quickly, right? You go back to 2010. Look how disgraced the Labour Party was in 2010, and how many votes did the Conservatives get than Labour? Yeah, the
10.1
Conservatives.
million the Conservatives got over Labour,
Yeah.
but Labour still won. How did that happen?
Yeah, it's due to the constituencies.
I wonder how that went.
Yeah, it's due to how the constituencies are.
But it's funny
It's
how
easier for Labour.
all the big politicians have the biggest seats, so that they're all with the money, shall we say,
Yeah.
and they win. So that's a more of a majority for them because it's first past the post.
Yeah.
Quite a load of crap.
I mean, even a proportional representation would be hard because theoretically, then the left-leaning parties could still form a majority government.
Yeah.
So it's shit all round. But
Yeah.
anyway, we're going.
We have got the illusion of choice. Unfortunately.
It's only an
introduced
illusion.
all
It totally
this.
is an illusion.
This elections and money and all that. That was the anarchy.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
gave us all these systems.
And they
Well, it was bread and
They-
circuses,
they
wasn't it? They
integrate-
gave us all these distractions to
they
keep us
integrated
occupied.
us as well, didn't they? So
Yeah, because look what happened. They were leaving Planet. They left. They left their choice of humans in charge, which is now,
Running the show.
the kings and the emperors, and we're still there now.
Yeah.
Even like the thousands of years after I know some of us are still here, but after the anarchy left this planet, they left the form of control, whereby it's the divine right of kings that are in charge.
all right.
Of course it is.
So what's the moon then?
It's
The moon's a monetary station, is it?
Yeah, that's not a moon, it's a space station.
What about Nibiru?
It's a
What
construct.
is all this Nibiru about?
No, Nibiru's interesting because everyone says it's a planet.
Nubru.
Nibiru.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nibiru,
the one that's
Depends.
on
Some
the-
people call it Neurobrew, and some people call it Neurobrew, and
It's
yeah.
Nibiru, the one
It's a
that's
dwarf
got
planet.
that massive
Yeah.
elliptical orbit.
The 3,600
Yeah.
year
But no one's ever seen, but there's some people see on their photographs. Yeah.
Exactly. What the hell was that all about?
I-
Was that another kind of?
I cannot remember who said it, but there was another suggestion that Nibiru is not a planet; it's a mothership.
Yeah, it's a spaceborne. Well, it looks like a planet, but it's an actual spaceship. Is that
Yeah.
what you're
Well,
saying?
you saying about the
I'll go with
moon
that.
being a space station, I prefer to call it a construct because it is a construct,
Yeah.
and it's a construct set up by the Illuminati. Sorry, not the Illuminati. The Anunnaki to monitor us. Does it change tides? No, fuck does it.
Well, we don't know. I mean, no one knows. But what we do know, if we look at
Neil hears you. He said, "I hear you, Adam."
yeah, if you look at somewhat the ancient tribes like the Dogon and the Aborigines, all them old tribes, they talk of a time when the moon was not there.
Yeah, because the moon's only been there, what, 4,000 years, is it? 3,000 years, something like that?
Whatever it is, it wasn't there at some point, but it was brought here to control the tides as part of it.
Thank you.
What's that?
You know what I said about earlier about the moon, the sun's getting brighter and brighter,
Yeah.
right? It just hit me that I remember hearing about Nibiru in 2016 because there was a guy on Twitter that kept saying September 26, 2016, Nibiru's going to collide with the sun and take it out. Then it happened the next month and the next month and the next month and the next month for 6 months solid and nothing ever happened. What if you saying that was a mothership? What happened if that was upgrading the sun to what it is now for the spiritual awakening? What if that was their input the Galactic Federation's input into upgrading the sun to make us more aware what
Well,
the fuck's going on around us.
I think I'll be more inclined to think that way and to think what you just said was
Thank you for that.
because the Galactic Federation have been working on the frequencies, but I think they've upgraded the sun, and the sun is a major frequency changer.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
if you have a solar flare, and that fires off, doesn't it? They called it CME, didn't they?
Yeah.
Coronal mass ejection, or whatever they like to call it. I don't know. And that's supposed to hit us. Do you remember when that's supposed to happen a couple of months ago, wasn't it? When we had that.
Supposed to knock out all the internet, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're supposed to have that. What do you call it? Aurora.
Mm.
And my cousin in
We
Australia.
did. We had it over
Yeah,
here.
but my cousin in Australia, she goes, "Oh, I've just seen the aurora," and I'm thinking, "Hang on a minute, you're in Australia. How the hell did you see?
We were seeing it over here on the
How the hell
phone.
did you see that? You're in Australia." You know, I thought it was a northern thing, not a southern thing. Hey, I mean, you know.
I mean, the other thing with the moon is, I mean, when NASA, well, we'll be arguing till kingdom come about NASA's involvement with the moon.
Not a space agency, I mean.
What?
Yeah,
Never,
never a straight answer.
never a straight answer is my
Yeah.
favourite one.
My personal, I mean,
The only people to video bubbles in space.
Oh,
What about it?
my view is they did go there. When you think about the fact that we had and it's still ongoing, the Black Project, that we've got technology that's far in advance of what the rocket technology is. But if we suddenly gone from jet engines in 1945, you know, because we come out of the Second World, we went into the Second World War with biplanes and come out with monoplane jet engine monoplanes.
yeah, but the Germans invented them with the.
Ion engine.
Francis Whittle invented the jet engine.
Well, no,
They used it for military.
The Germans had the 262s, didn't they? You remember that?
And the Messerschmitt 260. Yeah, they militarised the jet engine. But if you suddenly think that we suddenly went from a jet engine to anti-grav propulsion within the space of 20
in a very
years,
short space of
yes,
time.
that would be extremely sus.
Yeah.
How the hell did we get from there to there?
Well,
So the NASA thing and the rocket propulsion technology was a natural progression because we already had rockets in. Well, rockets go back centuries.
China,
Yeah.
like you just said, China invented.
Here's one for you.
So, so the NASA, the Apollo, the Mercury, what was the other? What was the other one that they had? The Mercury.
Saturn V.
Yeah, the Saturn V rocket. Apollo.
Mercury.
What was the
Gemini.
one? Gemini. That was it.
Yep.
So you had Mercury, Gemini, and the Apollo missions. They were all based on rocket technology.
Yeah.
They couldn't show us that they've actually got
Werner
anti-grav.
von Braun.
That's him. Yeah.
Here we go.
The Nazi.
You saying that? This has popped into my head. Thank you, Spirit. An ion thruster, ion drive, and ion engine. Right. You go back to 1940 when
Is that
obviously
what-
Whittle
is it-
invented the that engine.
Yeah,
right. That was only 40% efficient
I
according to
thought
Wikipedia.
Pioneer, one of the Pioneer projects had that.
Well, they put Whittle as the name of it because he was the
Well,
bloke that
like-
actually-
I'm talking about the Pioneer probes.
Oh, Pioneer.
Oh yeah.
But listen to this, right? An ion engine has only been around for the past couple of years, but it is a form of electrical propulsion for spacecraft propulsion,
That's right.
and also SpaceX uses it as well.
Mm.
An ion thruster creates a cloud of
It's much more
positive
efficient.
ions from a neutral gas by ionising it and extracting some electrons
Yeah.
from its atoms, right? Which is a completely reversal of the Whittle jet engine because it uses propulsion instead of like ions. But an ion thruster in operation typically consumes 1 to 7 kilowatts of power and have exhaust velocities around 20 to 50 kilometers a second.
Yes,
That's-
it's much more efficient.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's 80% more efficient than a Whittle jet engine.
Yeah.
So you talking about that, about technologies, how it's thing, right?
That's a natural progression.
That's a natural progression because the Whittle engine uses fuel. This uses electricity to split atoms to make propulsion. So you're going down the Star Trek route now.
Yeah,
You are.
That's a sublight. Well, it was with Star Trek. That's a sublight propulsion.
Yeah.
What I was saying about the official space program, the unofficial.
Yeah.
Like I say, they couldn't let us see that we've gone from a jet engine to anti-grav.
No.
So the rocket, the NASA thing was just a public front.
Just the cover, wasn't it?
Yeah, whatever they found up there, and I think that's where the lies came
Oh,
from.
you mean the moon land?
Yeah, the lies,
Supposed moon
the
land
lies and the misinformation.
and the
I think
misinformation.
that's what it is about. What they actually found up there, because when you look at the moon, you look at all the craters. They're very uniform in their depth. They're all uniform.
Not only that. I mean,
Which
you
says
can
there's
only
a
see one
solid
side.
structure.
But if you look at the
But
moon,
even on the dark side, when I take a picture of the dark side, the craters that's on there, there's a lot more, obviously, because it's facing out of space. But all the craters are a uniform depth. You look at the craters on this planet and other planets where asteroids have hit, and they're very, very deep. So that says there's a solid, something solid underneath. And when NASA, whether they launched something or whether it was one of the Apollo craft, and they hit the moon, they said it ran like a bell.
I mean, it's hollow.
Yeah,
It's a construct.
yeah.
Because I'm not being funny, right? Before I answer what Neil said, if you can imagine that, right, we look at a cold light in the moon, right, and they say the sun reflects. If the sun reflects off the moon, right, then surely the whole of the sky should be lit up as well, because it's not. It's a negative light, so it's meant for the dark side where the sun's on the other side of the realm and the moon's on the other side. But why does it still create the map of our realm? You have a look at it. Where the seas are located on the map, it does project that.
Yeah.
And maybe it was to put the craters on there was distraction. Because I do believe that the moon is a construct for the Anunnaki, for certain people to monitor what we're doing.
Yeah.
Spaceships go in and out. The reason why, the only planet in existence as far as we know that doesn't rotate, it rotates with us. So basically we're seeing the same fascia
That's right. Yeah.
all the time.
It keeps a uniform position.
And it keeps the back hidden all the time. So that could be a spaceport at the back there. We don't know. Japan and China decided to send a probe up there to land on the dark side of the moon. We haven't got no proof of that exactly.
No.
Because if you look at India's interpretation of it, they were doing an 8-bit Spectrum ZX fucking Spectrum fucking graphics on it the other day, a few months ago, and it was like, what we've got
probably
8K
used-
technology, and
they
you're
probably
using
used
8-bit.
I probably bought cameras from Wish.
Yeah, they put Timu. Yeah, Wish.
it's-
Timu.
They bought cameras from Timu. That's what it is. Yeah, that explains it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, when Lucas done his Star Wars thing, I mean the Death Star looked like the moon.
Yeah, totally.
It just
With that big crater on the left-hand side,
Yeah.
with a big crater up there. Sea of Tranquility is called, I think, whatever it is.
yeah.
Anyway, Neil turned around and said, so was I abducted, about what he said. My opinion, I mean, just for me, I would say you lost 15 minutes of your life there by walking down a road that you would have took you 15 minutes, took you 30 minutes. So, my opinion, yes, you was abducted. Rudy?
But if you lost time loss is one of the major factors
Yeah.
of abduction, because you got no recollection of where you was in that lost 15 minutes, have you? Really?
What you doing?
Yeah, it is a very common phenomenon with
I
abduction.
think you did put, I don't remember a sore arsehole though. So you wasn't probed, you're lucky.
As you know, I might have poked it somewhere else.
Yes. Obviously E.T. didn't phone home.
Yeah.
Anyway, he also put Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd, and Wild Witch put a bloke on the Disclosure Project has come out and said there are buildings on the dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
Mr. Jinx, Mr. Hyde. Wild Witch, I do agree with you on that, because there was, I'll have to try and find it and get his name, but there was a guy that said he kept having these dreams 3 or 4 weeks constant about a massive great big portal, like something out of Star Wars. It was like a portal with a blue LED going around it, and it was protruding out the back of the moon. And he said there were ships flying in and out there from all over, other realms, other planets, everywhere, and they were flying in there, trade ships. Well, obviously, if it's a construct, people, I wouldn't say people, but some of us were living on there, some of the Anunnaki, some reptilian were living on there, so they're going to need food supplies, aren't they? They can't eat us all the time.
There is a trade confederation going on.
Yeah.
In this galaxy, in this part of the galaxy, we are trading with other races.
Of course we are. How do you think we get? How do you think we get germanium and silicon?
Well,
What do you think we've got a natural supply of it? People say we have certain elements that, like tungsten,
yeah, we've got certain elements on this planet that
we
not-
shouldn't have.
Yeah, that are nowhere else around.
So the boys chat, the guys that went to Germany with, obviously they're all hyper because of the game.
Oh, and the wind.
Yeah.
Remember what I said to you 3-4 weeks ago? What the agenda is? And I
Yeah.
said to you in your car when we were driving to the boat, and I said, we're going to get through to the finals. And after the last 2 games, you'd think, how do we get that? We had 1 goal disallowed. We were first to lose. Went down 1-0, get 1-1, got a penalty.
Yeah.
And then we get another one. We should have been 2-0, 2-1. Now we've got another one. We should be 3-1. We're only 2-1.
Yeah, but don't forget, this is a big part of it, isn't it?
This is a distraction.
Just sort of setting you up with, I said either the Netherlands are trashers or we'll win with 1 goal.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't have a flutter because.
And the trouble is, when now you think about the energies are going to be so high because we're actually in the finals on Sunday, so the energies are going to be high. So you watch what's going to happen around us to drop it down because they're going to be feeding off that energy.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the finals. I don't, whether we win or lose, I don't think it'll matter. We're in the final.
Yeah.
And England haven't been in a
European
international
final.
final, and international finals is 1966.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter now. We're in the final.
Yeah, because we only got the semi-finals in '96, didn't we?
Yeah.
With Southgate.
Does that mean Southgate is not going to get the same now?
I don't know. Probably.
But he likes his Pizza Hut. Remember that?
Yeah. Did we win in spite of Gareth or because of him? That is the question.
That is the question.
But yeah, so I totally agree with you about that on the dark buildings on the dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
Because the reason why we're not allowed to see the dark side of the moon, and obviously I think it was Japan or China decided to disclose certain probes landing on there. To be honest, I don't think there is probes landing on there because if you look at the footage is more believable if you had a ZX Spectrum or a Commodore 64 than ever before. I mean, you look at India's moon landing and it was like playing an old Starfield game from like 1984 on a Spectrum.
Have you seen the film Moonfall?
Yes, I have actually. Yeah, that's quite good actually.
What did you think of that?
I think that's more of an eye opener than
That leaves it open.
Apollo 13. Let's put it that way. I think Apollo 13 was more about skimming the firmament, and there was.
I mean, it was another thing. If anyone wants to check out, because if that moon landing was a hoax, as I said, I don't think it is. I think what they were covering up was what happened when they got there. But there's a channel called Curious Droid.
But it's what they found when they got up there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's what they found when they got up there.
They were told to
Get off.
to basically, excuse the French, but fuck off by a certain
I wonder
race.
I wonder if it was, because a lot of the jokes are, who put the bloke on there with a camera in the first place? And that must have been some fucking long lead to go to Earth.
Oh, yeah. As I said, there's a channel called Curious Droid. It does cover all of the, and it's very.
Oh yeah.
And it does go into detail. The last one I watched was about the cameras. They had some black cameras, and there's just way too much planning and everything around the Apollo missions to suggest that they were a hoax. As I said, I think that happened. I mean, I'm even going back now on what I thought at the time. In that I thought the photos may have been faked because of the harsh conditions on the moon. But I've just watched that one that Curious Droid covered about the cameras, and the level of engineering that went into those cameras was unbelievable. Even down to changing the oil, because the grease that was used, the grease that would have been used in those harsh conditions, where you're going from minus whatever to plus whatever, the grease would have evaporated in the mechanisms in the camera. It's so it was down. The whole lot was planned down to that.
You saying that on that? Just give me a minute, Rudy.
Go on.
Sorry, mate. You saying that at the time there was two versions of transfer of data available. That was UHF and VHF. Very high frequency, which is used for radio.
Yeah.
UHF, which was used for video. Right now, they could just about get that over 50 miles. Right, they could just about get over 50 miles without putting a transponder. Where in space did they put other transponders to allow that signal to be beamed that many miles to the Earth? There's no possible way. That would have been a fucking long cable.
There was massive. I mean, what you got to remember, although we saw Nixon talk to him on a phone, that phone was hooked up via various systems to one massive.
Wireless technology wasn't invented till 1982, so how the hell did they get wireless?
They were massive.
Radio telescope.
Yeah.
You had the don't forget you had the Arecibo one that was quite massive as well.
And there was those Australian boys,
but doing live, that was it. That was a 2-second delay, which they had in the 80s. For any satellite feed, there'd always be a 2-second delay. He had a 2-second delay from picking up that landline to a mobile device which wasn't even invented up in the moon. So a lot of people believe that that was real, but looking through the patents and looking through technology, wireless technology wasn't invented till the early 80s. So there's no possible way that he could have picked that phone up and said, "Hello, this is the president, how you doing?" There's no possible way.
Time delay. But I mean, did anyone hear about the alien ship they found? I can't remember whether it was on the moon or Mars. I can't remember. And they found the woman occupant on it as well. And she was perfectly preserved. And she had this thing on her, and I think it was the moon. They found it.
Did you see that? Did you see that guy on Twitter? And if you ain't, I'll send you the link. Some guy has searched the Nevada desert and found the exact location of where the moon landing happened. Fact. All the rocks are in the same place, the hill was in the same place, the craters, and where it was staged, and all they done was use filters on the camera to actually make it look like it was night. Because if you're standing on the moon, right, this is the biggest giveaway, which I know a lot of people say, "Oh, yeah," but they don't see it. When you see the footage of them looking at the Earth has got a curve on it, but the sun's over there, because they look at the sun and they look at the Earth should have been a big ball, but no, there was half of it, because it was like, it was well above the actual horizon of the moon, but there was only half the Earth there. So why wasn't that illuminating? Because apparently it's the moon that actually makes
shadows.
But it wasn't, because the sun was higher than the moon. So how can it bounce off that? It's line of sight, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this guy literally found the place, and he actually shows you on his video, and he shows on the video. So this is where they filmed the moon landing, and you can actually see all the moon. And he said, "I'll give you the GPS coordinates on Google Earth," and he did. And then what he did, he showed you, and then he put the black tone on it, sepia tone, turned it black and white. Made it grayscale, and it looked exactly like the moon.
Do us a favour, right? Can you look on there for the alien ship found on the moon and the occupant in it? The female.
And the Wild Witch believes it's definitely a hoax as well.
Female occupant.
Female, what was that? Female?
The alien ship that was found and the alien occupant that was still well preserved.
There's so much misinformation.
I can't remember whether it was Mars or the moon.
Artemis.
What?
NASA will launch the first woman. Oh, it's the first woman. Sorry.
No.
NASA explores Moon Girl. I'm the only one that came here because I saw a video of the alien Moon Girl on the dark side of the moon. Is that the one?
Have a look.
It's a video.
There's a picture of her as well.
No evidence of human remains dubbed Mona Lisa found on the moon. Apollo 20 mission. Is that the one?
I don't know.
No evidence of human remains dubbed Mona Lisa found on the moon back in...
No, there was a ship that they come across.
No matter what anyone says, human remains have never been found on the moon. NASA's chief historian told Reuters... Yeah, no, never a straight answer.
Reuters, yeah.
They call it the Black Mona Lisa. Wheat locks.
They had an alien, a woman well preserved in her...
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. The video alleges the female with her skin preserved intact found in an alien spaceship on the moon during the 1976 mission. It claims the woman who was a pilot of a lead spacecraft is believed to be anywhere between 1 million to
She's
1
got a
billion years old.
She's got something on her head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wi-Fi did debunk that.
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Wi-Fi did debunk
Good.
that.
It's not. It's just another
Another
narrative.
Yeah.
dumb
but
conspiracy.
again, it's we get stuff fed like that, including from NASA.
We're not going to mention the FE. Sorry, Neil. We're not going to mention the FE. Neil mentioned. Don't you dare mention that. FE. We're not going to go down that because this is about aliens, not about that.
No, it's
Yeah.
not about that.
But again, there's this CIA involvement to keep us arguing about everything. all
It
the
is.
time.
It's a distraction.
What,
From everything
Even though we
from-
went to the moon, we're still arguing about whether we did go to the moon, whether all the photos were fakes, were some of them fakes, were none of them fakes.
You got to remember,
MK Ultra's working well.
the Red Hot Chili Peppers sung about it,
I
haven't
know
they?
about them.
Hollywood
filming
may
it
be
in
the
Hollywood.
sorry, space may be the final frontier, but it was made in a Hollywood basement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know that.
and then again, did you see the video of what's his name? Who done the video?
We're talking Buzz Aldrin,
No, the one who directed 2001.
Oh, Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick, yeah.
Stanley. He was on the.
On his deathbed, wasn't he? Turned around and said it was all a
No,
hoax.
he was interviewed and he was saying, "I'll create the video."
Hmm.
And he was openly admitting it.
Back then, it was all about face. It was about popularity. They wanted popularity to say they went to the moon.
And he said, "It's all. I made it up. It was all."
As I say, look at all the videos of Curious George's done on it. It covers it very, very well, and it's, as I said, the level of intricacy into the cameras alone. That would have been, if it was a cover up, it would
Still
have
got
been.
your cigarette, have you?
No, I read that. It would have been of extremely epic proportion.
Yeah.
What do you think the Hollywood
I think
Walk of Fame's for? What do you think? Do you think that's for Hollywood or for sports stars or people who've done achievements? Because as far as I know, there's
No,
never
I
been.
think-
It's all about Hollywood, right? So why did Bud Aldrin and Neil Armstrong get stars on there? Because they were fucking actors. Excuse my French. They were actors.
Yeah.
It's like I remember a
all
video.
that to count, yeah, all that.
That's
They
what
had,
Hollywood's all about.
They
had-
were paid.
yeah.
Because I remember seeing a press conference when they're sitting there and there's all these people are asking them questions and they're not answering them because NASA's answering it and they're all sitting there with their head in like that thinking, when they come back from the moon, they should have been exact. They've done what no man has done before.
I said-
And they're sitting there with their heads down like
If
that.
they've seen stuff up there, NASA said, you're going to say fuck all, we'll deal with it.
Maybe that's the case.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like that film called Capricorn One. I always
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, they got to the Mars. Was it?
Yeah.
They got to Mars, but it was in a studio.
But the biggest thing for me about the moon landings was the fact is that when that moon module comes down, you had gold foil flapping around and there's a massive great hole, which means that poor bloke in there would have been fucking, his body would have been sucked out through that fucking little hole. And you could see it flapping around like that and you're thinking, hang on a minute, this is a multi-billion, £1 million bloody event, right, which they lost all the details for and all the evidence, all the schematics for the moon lander. But you had this aluminium foil just sitting there flapping around. Plus they had a moon buggy which was exactly 8 foot by 4 foot.
It folded up.
Folded up, right? So answer me this, how do you inflate tyres in zero gravity when there's no oxygen and compressed air can't compress zero gravity? How do you inflate tyres?
Maybe it weren't inflation. Maybe they were solid rubber.
They wasn't no inflatable tyres.
Nitrogen.
Maybe. Then it would have bounced off the moon. And the other thing was, why do you never see you watch the footage, and I've seen most of the footage on the moon land, the actual buggy, if you like. The bloke doesn't move. His arms don't move. How does he control it? Has he got like telekinesis or something? There's no panel on it. He's not even holding a steering wheel and his arms are like that. He's not got no knobs, no gears, and he's not moving. And the moon buggy's turning like this and doing this, but he's not doing it. How's he doing it? How is he controlling that vehicle?
Maybe it's remote control.
Exactly, because it was a remote control vehicle that was done for Hollywood purposes. I'm not saying they didn't go on the moon. What I'm saying is that show, that 1960 God show, was just another Hollywood blockbuster.
Kubrick had said that. He said
They did go to the moon, but as Adam said, what was there, they wasn't to tell. They didn't want people knowing.
They were told to leave now, or you won't be leaving at all. And that's what they were told.
Yeah, I know that, Neil. Trees help make our oxygen, but you ain't going to find no trees on the moon, are you?
The Australian guys intercepted the communications,
Yeah.
and they got that. They allegedly
The real
got.
one. The real
Yeah, they allegedly got that piece of conversation that was removed, which
What
is
did they
all.
say?
I'm not
It was
saying.
sad about that we're not alone up here and stuff like that.
No, that's right. They were told
I'm
to
not.
go.
I'm not saying we didn't go to the moon, but I'm just saying that little video that they like to promote that they did, that was faked. They done it undercover, no disclosure. It was done on a secret mission. They went up there secretly, and it was in relation with Russia as well. Russia and them went up together because there's no way that America could have got there on her own. There's no way Russia could have got there on her own.
Well, the Russian rocket was turned out to be again. What's Curious Droid? He does. He goes into it properly.
Totally well, Rich. I agree with you on this. Too many mistakes in the moon landing video for it to be real. The flying flag, I'll get that because
It
there was.
wasn't flying.
But also,
It was
when there should be no
actually-
wind, shadows where there should be none. Because if the sun was behind them, right, which is where they were saying it was, why was the shadows facing the opposite way?
All I'm saying is go to Curious Droid's channel and watch everything he does because he covers it in immense detail, and it's hard to counter argue what he says.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Unless you've watched it, unless you've watched what he's covered, you'd have to watch what he's covered to understand.
We have been to the moon. Humanity has been to the moon, but not in the context they said. It wasn't Neil Armstrong. It wasn't Buzz Lightyear or Buzz Aldrin, whatever his name is. It wasn't them. No Apollo mission has ever been to the moon.
You had
The missions-
You had the other Apollo missions.
But the early Apollo missions went there, and we were told, "Fuck off."
Yeah.
We went up there, found things because it was done They won't do it live on TV for them to be humiliated. So they're going to actually make it so that it matches their narrative. So they went up there without anyone knowing when they were testing rockets, the Apollo 1, Apollo 2, Apollo 3, all the early ones. They went up there. They got up there with Russia's help,
Oh, yeah.
and they were found a certain, so we say Anunnaki, that sort of thing, that said to them, "Get the fuck off here because you're not welcome."
The reptilian Anunnaki, yeah.
And they gave them the chance to leave. They left, so they made it up that the fact is they had been to the moon, but there's things up there they didn't see that we're not allowed to know. Because obviously, as Adam said, it's a space station, it's a construct, and we're not allowed to know what's going on there because it. I mean, we even talked about the soul traps, about straight up to there. They harvest the energy and then send you back down here again
Yeah, that's
to
right.
harvest more. It's a
That's
recycling,
right.
shake and
Yeah.
bake colony, whatever
The
you call it.
Archons, isn't it? Or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to what I said, I can't remember who said it. You can look it up actually. Someone said we've got technology to take ET home.
Yes.
So why would we bother with a rocket when we've got stuff that can go faster than light?
Well, this is it.
That was all. It was all for show. We could do it, but there's so many question marks here. It's exactly what we're doing now.
Ben Rich,
Could be.
the Invisible Man, and that sort of one. Lockheed Skunk Heads. Lockheed Skunk Works has the capabilities to take ET home. Yeah, I do agree. We've got the technology to do light speed, and we've got technology to
I'll go beyond it.
go beyond it. But the part is that for
That's what Event Horizon was. It was showing us.
Yeah.
We creating a wormhole which you could.
Portals.
Yeah, it's creating a
creation.
wormhole which you could slip through. to
Well, they
that
do
part of
that.
the
but on the 1960, what was it,
CERN,
1963,
Yeah,
1969?
that's what John
Was it
said.
1967 the moon landing? I don't believe
69.
69. I don't believe that actually happened. I think that was filmed for the purpose of saving face. That was just to brainwash the humanity into believing they've been to the moon. They have, but it wasn't done what they think. Because you got to remember, they do all this secret stuff without us knowing about it. The Hadron Collider was fucking online before we even knew about it. You know,
Yeah, and
it's,
that wasn't for the purposes that we were told about. Was it?
What the CERN?
Yeah.
be careful, Neil,
Trying to find the God particle.
because Gloria will read this.
Mm.
Isn't a boys' night better without women? A day off. Be careful, because if
Yeah.
I tell you what, if Gloria reads this,
she will crucify you.
she will crucify you. She's got an acid tongue, believe me.
Yeah, just ask Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff is one of the poor victims.
Yeah, he cops it.
Yeah. But he accepts it, so because he does give it, and then she has to give it
Yeah.
double. So
Yeah.
we've learned. Each of us have learned. We just go, yes, it's Gloria. Yeah, and we have a little dig back. That's it. We just leave it like that. No, you're not mentioning his name. Go away.
He won't be named.
I will ban you. He mentioned the.
Yeah.
No, we're not going down that road.
No. So, yeah, well, but yeah, the moon it is an anomaly. We should that satellite is too big for Earth to capture. When you look at the moons of every other planet in the solar system, and you look at the size of the moon, their moons in relation to the size of the planet, they don't compare to the size of our moon.
How can they say that Saturn's got 99 moons?
Is it?
One of them, Saturn, Jupiter, one's got 99 moons.
Jupiter.
How can you have 99 moons? We've never seen them. They've not even got pictures of them. But they say that they've got 99 moons. 99 moons is a lot of bloody round balls in the space that you could see. You should be able to see them with any telescope, allegedly. But
You can only see 4 of them for any telescope.
well, considering they all rotate at a nice angle, according to NASA, but our one is the only one that doesn't. It's a bit suspect.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That is a.
I
The moon,
think-
moon is anomaly. It's not an official construct.
Yeah.
And it was put there by.
I think if they disclose this information to humanity accept it a lot more better than them lying. They would. If they said, look, okay, that's a construct, we use it as a trading base to trade with the Arcturians in such and such galaxy, or Andromeda and all that, and we get our sources of titanium and tungsten from them, and we give them sea salt and all that.
The portal travel.
People go, oh, all right, fine, fancy a beer. I don't give a
Well,
fuck.
the portal travel. I mean, you can travel with any galaxy with portals. You know, there's plenty of portals around on the Earth.
But it's always a secrecy thing that does me in. It's like, oh, the world can't know about this. Like, do you know, if the world knew there was aliens, right, what's the first thing they'll try and do? You'd have the England crew trying to give them a curry and look, support England. They would. Oh, come on, if you was down a pub
we
and an
go
alien
try.
walked in, come over here, tell us about your life. Here, have a pint. Here, George, give him a pint.
Yeah,
That's what it'd be like.
Kill them. Or poison
We
them.
wouldn't kill them. We'd try and like educate them in our culture.
What? Give them a curry and a pint.
Oh, come on.
Like Zephyr,
You know what I mean?
like Zephyr Cochrane in First Contact,
Yeah.
with the Vulcans, and he's introduced them to alcohol and rock and roll.
Yeah, exactly. He plays the jukebox,
Yeah.
doesn't he? And he's sitting there on this, and
Ooby-dooby.
you got like
What
Spock's
is it?
dad sitting there going. But no, it gives humanity a chance to prove itself. All these lies and stuff about the alien technology and all that, no one would actually batter an eyelid and say, hang on a minute, you're telling me my microwave is alien technology. I don't care, it fucking heats my food up. That's the way people are going to look at it. They ain't going to think where it's come from. They know it's useful.
I mean, I know I've said to you before, we're not on channel. I remember back in 2010 when I was doing security on one of the school builds.
Mhm.
One in Maidstone, near London Academy. And obviously, you know, got contractors coming in, the subbies and all that, coming in and out all day. And I remember having a conversation with one of them who was saying to me back then about LED technology is not.
It's not human.
No, it's not human. It's not human.
There's no physical way, and I'm an electrician, I'm an electrical engineer, right? Well, you know that, what I've built. Right, and I've broke apart an LED, right? There's no physical way that can work in the construct that they've created, in the data sheets they've created. It doesn't work, but it does work. And it creates a certain spectrum. And there's nothing more than silicon, germanium and a diode. That's all it is. How the hell does it work?
Creates a lot of that heat.
Exactly. So
Have you tried recreating it yourself?
you can't recreate yourself. You need
Well,
silicon
you try.
and germanium. You need those two elements to make a diode.
Well,
But
don't
how
even
do you
exist in-
illuminate a diode, right, from germanium?
Who would have thought to put those two elements
Exactly.
in with a diode to make it do what it
Periodic
does?
table. How many? What, 300 odd elements? And we put two together to make an LED. And now we've got
Well, it's
ultra bright
I think
LEDs
it's up
because
to 118.
well, we've got my torch over there is like almost what 20,000 lumens. And you know what my torch is like when we was at Renton.
Yeah.
That went right the way down that road, and I could see the signpost at the end of the road with that torch.
Yeah.
That could shine that far on one LED. So no, that's not human technology. And as I said, I mean, if you think about if aliens did exist, right? They're frightened that we're going to rebel and we're going to go, oh God, it's the end of the world and we're going to die. Literally, you think about every single civilization. You'd have the Jamaicans trying to smoke hashish with them. You would. Like, come on, sit down, have one of these.
Sure.
You'd have the pikeys trying to steal bloody drives and all that with them. A special, oh look, you could get the drives up for us without us doing any work. You'd have the hoodies trying to get them to wear bloody hoodies and smoke bleeding wacky and carry knives. You'd have certain individuals trying to sleep with them. Do you know what I mean? Humanity just will literally corrupt them. But we won't give a fuck because that's what humanity is. We tolerate everything. And this is what the narrative doesn't get. They try to brainwash us with all these agendas. And people are seeing through them and going, I don't care. Like this thing now with Gen Zs and Gen Xs. And they're going, we should really start a hate campaign against Gen Xs. Try it. No one cares. Because we're going to learn and go, whatever, and walk away. And then again, Gen Zs have to look at things and go, well, I can't decide which bathroom to go in. I can't decide if I'm upset or not. They can't even make a decision of what they want to eat, you know? So why should people be scared of an alien civilization that's been around longer than us? Because as you said earlier, Adam, if they wanted to take us out, they would. Do you think a bullet or a missile is going to take them out when that's the technology they've gave to us? It's going to bounce off them like, you know, like a matchstick against the bloody wall, you know?
Yeah.
It ain't going to do much damage.
I remember going back to the nuclear test when there was grass spotted shutting down the nuclear warheads.
Yeah.
When we'd done our Trident test and that failed, the first thing that went into my head was that missile got shut down.
Of course it did, because the technology was given to us.
Yeah, because Valiant Thor, he's from Venus by the way, he said that there would be no nuclear events because it'll disable them. They'll disable
Do you think an alien race is going to give us, how barbaric some of us are, a weapon of mass destruction to use in the context to destroy millions of people, millions of souls? They ain't. You agree with me, Rudy, on this? They were taken out on the first test.
Well,
They were taken out on the first test because they let us build them, but as soon as we fired them, bang, phew, they were taken out. When has there ever been, even the nuclear test videos, where you see there's a camera watching this village and this mushroom cloud, the after effects, the seismic reaction to it, knocks houses, blows cars over, melts cars, but the camera still stood up, didn't it? It's all an illusion.
that's what confuses me with these DEW weaponry. I mean, recently with what happened in Hawaii.
So what do you think the satellites do then?
Well, satellites.
Laser technology.
Laser.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant.
Laser.
That's what we're going on to now.
Yeah.
I mean, the Death Star isn't a...
Spaceborne. Yeah, but spaceborne weaponry's been around for a while now. I mean, you had Reagan with the SDI project, didn't you? So,
OSTI, yeah. The Star Wars project, yeah.
It was the space laser weaponry's been around since then, quite a while, I'd say. Yeah.
Everything's an illusion, and people.
Yeah, I mean.
Everyone's
course,
got a
yeah.
right to believe what they want to believe.
Yeah, I'd say it's everything.
But these direct energy weapons, DEWs, they're alien technology, but they also come from satellites. They're laser technology. We can fire lasers. We have the technology for lasers. Let's face it, they sell lasers to the public. You've got a pen that can shine. I've got a pen over there with a green LED that can shine right up.
Yeah, I've got a green laser pen. I've got also a red laser.
But this can go over 2 miles, this bloody pen. I know, because I took it down when we went camping years ago, and I shined it onto a tree, big trees in the forest where we went, over a mile away.
Well, when I'm doing my astro, to look for certain, star position, I use my green laser.
Exactly, and I had a telescope which I bought off Jeff, which you buy an attachment for it, which had a red laser on it, and you could fire this direct where you wanted it to go, and then adjust your camera to it, your lens to it.
Yeah.
So the technology's there, right? But I believe, I mean, if you imagine, we've had lasers since mainstream commercially since the 80s, since the CD player come out, right? Because lasers were the first.
Yeah,
First CD had a laser
incorporated
on
to
it.
the music.
Now you've got Blu-ray, which is, and also you've got the new ones coming out as well, and they're high frequency lasers, but they can read information. CD player can read information, so the lasers are not fantasy; they're fact. They are there, and you know, as I said, direct energy weapons are just a high pulse laser. But they're set such magnitudes that you got to remember these satellites. These satellites, they have solar panels on. They take direct sunlight.
Yeah, they convert it into.
And they convert it into energy. And they convert it into energy, and they could fire that anywhere they want. Budapest, was it Budapest with the grain farm that had a big hole in it, like a Terminator bloody circle? Do you remember that? It exposed all the dumps over in Budapest, and people going, "Oh, what's those tunnels down there? Don't look at that. Look at the fact is that all the grain's gone." Do you remember it?
No,
And they tried to fill it in as quickly as possible because they didn't want people seeing the tunnels underneath.
Yeah.
That was done for a reason, to expose. Everything's an exposure, and it's like it's always been the same. The mainstream media has always been on the alien agenda. Don't look over here. Look over there.
No, of course it is. Yeah. What's going on there with Ukraine and that?
They put the aliens in the negative light. Aliens are going to attack us. Aliens are going to kill us. As Adam said, if they wanted to kill us, they would have done it centuries ago.
Yeah, I mean that technology's been around for what, thousands of years, and they could have wiped us off many times then.
Let's think about the Star Wars and Star Trek theory. Let's put our mind in that era, right? You're you're from another, say you're an Arturian and you're from wherever, and there's 4 of you on it.
That's supposed to be a Lyran,
But there's 4 of you flying on your little spaceship, and you're flying through the galaxy, and you see Earth. And you sit there and go, should we pop down to Earth for a McDonald's? And the other one goes, do you really want to go to Jupiter? Because at least we get a suntan there. Do you know what I mean? You ain't going to sit there and land on the most barbaric planet, which we are barbaric. I mean, we are. You look at our history, it's barbaric. It really is. So, do you think an alien race is going to go, oh, let's just shoot them and take them out? Or they're going to go, yeah, we'll bypass them, let's go to the next one. Seriously.
On that though, I mean, there's certain races that have got their own conflicts, and they've kind of passed them down to us.
It's called genetics, mate.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the Anunnaki, you know, different. They were, you know,
They were
conflict. They
were
were
like
conflict.
races, right? And
Yeah, they were a conflict-driven race.
when we were manufactured, or whatever you like to say, I don't know, created, they put a lot of that genetics into us. So is it any wonder
We're like what we are because we're like our creators, so to speak.
Exactly.
So we've just carried on what they were doing. You know.
A lot of us have our brains are pretty. We've got gifts that they didn't. I suppose they didn't.
It's a nice one. Wild Witch put. Sorry, I missed a couple of comments. Sorry. Neil High put only in the films, and then Wild Witch put. Do you believe Bob Lazar is telling the truth that he worked on an alien technology that they have rubbished his name so people won't believe him?
Yeah, I do.
They did. He was working on it, and he was reverse engineering a lot of stuff.
I reckon he was reverse engineering. Yeah.
They called out Element 115 about 2 decades before.
Yes,
they discovered it.
exactly, and now they realise that it's true. And Neil put into a plane, and then Wild Witch put, which is a theory of what happened to the 2 towers energy weapon, direct energy weapon. Yes, it was.
DWs.
Yeah. And also the Budapest thing as well.
Because when you see them coming down, they would turn into dust, wouldn't they? What does that?
I love my wife. Listen to this. If aliens come down now and start abducting us, I'm going to consider it a rescue mission. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee,
Throw me off there.
if we got abducted by aliens, the food would be much fucking better than what it is down here.
Yeah.
You want to get one? No,
Huh?
I'll get one.
Yeah.
You've got enough.
Oh.
Don't worry. I'll abstain. I'll abstain.
That's shock. Yeah, I'll have one more.
One more?
Yeah. Yeah, time's ticking a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't knock it over, really.
Really agree.
There's nothing in it. Have to.
But as I said, if aliens want to adopt, go back to the agenda of what they say that they are, right? And what the mainstream media says, that they're here to destroy us, they're here to take. If they wanted to destroy us,
They
they
could
could
have done
have
that
taken
ages
us
ago, like
years
you
ago.
said.
And as I said, if you're a civilization, 4 million years in the making, and you're at peace, and you've got all the stuff you want on your planet, and you're happy, and you're just exploring the galaxy, just to find other races to give them advice and help them, they're going to look at us and go, wars? Really? Death? Plight? Hunger? They haven't got themselves together. Why should we get involved in them?
Yeah.
You ain't going to stand there and get
And as I
involved.
said, the race that pretty much created us, which, as the Anunnaki, they were like that themselves.
Yeah.
So
Years
what we've
ago.
done is inherited what they did.
You're
And I
talking
think
about
since
5D, 3D, 2D, 3D,
Yeah.
4D, 5D. You're talking about the different, they've progressed and that's
Yeah.
it. What
Um,
would they be looking at us for?
Yeah, but I think the unintended consequence of creating us is we have souls and we have the ability
We're self-aware, I think it's called.
so self-aware, to raise our vibrations, everything.
You
And
mean
I
to
don't-
ascend?
Yeah, to the ability to send. And I don't think that was the Anunnaki done that. That was the other races that put in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not being
if that was the
funny.
unintended consequence, must be
Oh,
great.
wrong way, wrong way.
And you got your JD, didn't you?
If, the one way I look at this is the fact is that if we're an amalgamation of all different species, right, of all different races, right, because we are the youngest, I do believe we are the youngest species of a humanoid, if you like. And if we were given all that, everyone's got an input. If you think of, let's think of, I use films as information because they're all downloads and metaphors. You think of Robocop, his prime directive. Everyone had an input into his making.
And the second one.
And OCP, they put a directive 4 in there.
Yeah.
So let's just say, for example, the Anunnaki wanted us in a certain way. The Arturians, Palladians, Venusians, they wanted a different input into what we had. So we're lovers, we're high priestess, we're creative, we're techie phobes, or we're techie positive, whatever you want to call it. We've all got an input. They've all had an input into us. And that's what I don't think they wanted. I think the Anunnaki wanted us as being...
The slave race to them.
I'll say one thing. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed boys that would follow the narrative.
Well,
And you remember what happened in the 40s with that?
I ain't blonde hair and I ain't got blue eyes.
You know a certain individual that wanted blonde-haired,
but
blue-eyed
he
individuals.
Was, again, he was being taken down a road by some nefarious species, which we think is, if that astral legend is in it, go by is the reptilians and a nefarious side of there's a nefarious group of Palladians that were taking
No,
and the Nazis down that.
There was
line.
another species. What are they called now?
Neil Hyde just said they tried to erase Lazarus.
They had the big heads.
Yeah.
These ones had the big heads and they had very powerful psi abilities. What are they called? And they were in the same level as the reptilians. They were not nice.
Yeah. So that astral legend.
The account knows that Jesus loved Lazarus and his sisters, and Lazarus died of illness. Jesus wept and was greatly disturbed. I don't get what that metaphor is with Lazarus. But that's of course he's just trying that stuff.
Anyway, it should rep something.
Oh, Lazarus Project, Lazarus missions. The Lazarus missions were launched by NASA 10 years prior to the Endurance departure from Earth.
Yeah.
There were 12 landing pods sent to 12 potential planets. Yeah, that makes sense. It's good this when people interact because you can actually.
Yeah.
Well, that's what this is for.
I think when we
the
do
interaction.
I think when we do the part 2 for this with Gloria, we'll talk about the races.
She knows more about it than we do.
The
Yeah.
Newmarket and Chester.
Yeah, 3:30 at Kempton. Yeah. We'll discuss the different races like the insectoids and the reptilians and the Anunnaki and all this because let's say Paul's got to find out where he's but I mean
I will do that over the next couple of days. I'll have a look at that.
Rudy's Lyran. I've got Palladian, Glory's Octarian. You know, we've got these different
Starseed
yeah,
kind of.
that have been, but they're all high positive races, and the Lyran's one of the oldest, I think. The Lyran's
no
one of the
idea.
oldest.
I thought
They're
they were
a
part of
feline.
cat,
Yeah, they are. They're a
feline
cat.
kind of.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying I'm a bloody cat?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I ain't purring for that.
I thought I was a cat, but look at me out.
How you feline now?
How you feel on me?
How you feline now?
Shall we just pause it there?
Yeah.
Pause.
Oh, there we go.
Oh dear.
Here we go.
But
We'll
yeah,
soon know if he's a cat. I'll buy some catnip next time. I'll leave it on the side. If he sits there and starts going,
right. You've got booze, you've got catnip. What?
I've got my catnip here, mate.
if I'll put some pots on there and I'll put some. If he goes for the catnip, bingo.
You've got to just remember, leave me a tray to cook.
I ain't got a cat in no tray.
I'll have to get some catnip here. Don't worry.
But yeah, I think that what we'll discuss when we do.
Hello,
part two.
Jeffrey. Sorry, Jeff.
Hello, Jeff.
All right, Jeff.
His name is Jeff.
We're talking about aliens.
Yeah, alien
Yeah.
stuff.
But yeah, I mean, certainly they've, you know, all the other races have had their input into us, and that's why we're more than what we were when we were created.
Of course.
I think that's
Well, a lot of
bothered
people.
you.
As I said, I do believe that we've got an input from all the other races that when they designed us, we were put into. Obviously, because I don't know much about the other races, but what I do know is we've got one of their strongest traits from every single race: intuition, self-awareness, self-replication, reproduction, as I said. Obviously, self-healing, things that some animals haven't got.
No.
There's some
Well,
animals out there, once they cut, they bleed to death. They
That's-
can't heal.
That's why we're supposed to be the intelligent, dominant race, but we're not really. You don't see them fucking each other over, do you? I mean, we're the only ones that really do that. aren't
But
we?
what if I told you that was because of a narrative that, because when you're born, I've had this conversation with Heather. When you're born of innocence and purity. You're taught to be racist. You're taught to hate. You're taught to fight. You're taught to defend yourself, and you're taught to be anxious.
You mean schooling?
Pretty much. You're
mean
you're
at
taught.
school?
You go back to the native Indians who had no schools. They would teach them how to hunt, how to cook, how to love. Smoke the pipe, live your life.
Live off the
But
land.
one of them were killing each other. Certain races, there's certain tribes in Outer Mongolia, in Africa, in Brazil that won't interact with. They won't interact with us. They won't interact with the West because they don't want to know. That should tell people something, that the West has been corrupted for basically two things: money and power.
Yeah. Well, we are slaves, basically, anyway. So.
Jeff Ho said they are here, but in many different forms. I know, Jeff. I know. I've had my eye on you for a long time. I think you're not one of those. I think you're one of those different forms.
Which Jeff is this we're talking
Jeff Ho. Karen's Jeff.
about? Oh,
Just it. Yeah. So,
Right. Wild Witch, do you think that rhesus negative blood is an alien trait?
that's,
Yes, I do.
That's the blood type found in the Basque region.
what? Spain region?
Rhesus
Yeah,
negative.
well, Basque is half in Spain, half in France.
Oh, right.
But it's his own region, it's his own people. The blood type that's found there is not found anywhere else in the world. It's a very, very rare blood type.
There was something I was reading a few years ago about Egyptian blood. It was a very, very rare blood type which nowhere else in the world had it. And that might be rhesus negative as well.
Yeah, that could be as well. As I say, the Basque region is a separate entity, although it falls into France and Spain. The Basque people
So,
are their own.
it'd be interesting to see what blood types we got, really.
Well, I'm O positive, which is
I'm AB something, I think, AB negative.
yeah, mine's
Or
mine's the
one of
most,
the two, I'm one of the
mine's the
rare ones.
most common, and it can be used. Anyone else can, if you need a blood transfusion, you could use my blood. O plus can be used, O positive can be used.
I know when I was diabetic and they were testing my blood, and I remember when I got my results back, the doctor went, "Oh, you've got a rare blood type," and I'm sure it was AB something. It was a very rare one. Well, not as rare as rhesus negative, but it was rare.
Rhesus, and now a monkey.
No. You're thinking of rhesus monkeys.
Yeah.
Rhesus negative.
I'm so upset that nobody rhesus negative monkeys, aren't
Was that just a monkey around about it?
Nothing. I know nothing.
they? No.
Can't monkey around about it. Nothing like being a chimp off the old block. Sorry. That was bad. You do. I want to be like you. No, won't go down that road.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's.
Rhesus negative is the raw and elite, I believe, said Heather.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
It gives off blue tinge, hence the term blue blood.
thanks.
Well, I've got that.
That is,
Blue blood.
they're your veins.
I know. I know, that's what I've been.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. I thought it was the blood that was in the Basque region, but yeah,
Could be, but they might be a royalty, you don't know.
They could well be genuine royalty. Yeah. Yeah, the blue blood is deficient in, or it's not copper, because I think we're copper based.
Yes, we are, yeah.
They're not.
But copper is a good thing for us, because copper is a good thing for the human body. A lot of people don't realise that, because Heather said, funny that they have to take extra meds to carry a rhesus negative child because the human body sees it as an alien and will miscarry it. That actually might be down to the methylene, maybe of another race, because if you're carrying I'll put it naturally, if you're carrying an alien child, your body ain't going to reject it, isn't it? So they have to give you certain medications and make sure you take it. That makes sense. Unless the parents are negative too, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting if we could find out if there's anyone famous that's got that blood. And you could sort of work out from there where they're at.
Is it Kevin Costner that's got rhesus negative? I'm sure it is. I'm sure Kevin Costner's got it. I'll do some research on that for the next
I'm
one.
just going to ask a quick question while you're doing that. Right.
Hey Google.
Yeah. Basque people blood type.
I don't mind wearing basques.
Basque people blood type. I'm not listening that well, are
It was the Queen, or it was either the Queen or Charles that was announced as rhesus negative.
you? No, you're not listening, are you?
The first time you want them listening,
Basque people blood type.
I bet you get some burlesque pictures coming.
It was found that Basques have the highest concentration of type O blood in the world, more than 50% of the population, with an even higher percentage
Type O.
in remote areas where Basque
right,
is
here we
more
go.
widely spoken.
Yeah, so they've got the highest concentration of type O, but it also says Basques also have a higher incidence of rhesus negative than anyone in the world. That's what it was, yeah.
Wild Witch just said rhesus negative and rhesus positive cannot have a baby without anti-D.
That's it, yeah. So I knew there was a rhesus thing in the Basque region.
I think it's can you explain on the anti-D, Wild Witch? I'm sure it's a is it a kind of like a mineral that they actually take like medication? Because it's something that counteracts it.
Oh, right. Some scientists have argued that this demonstrates what I just said about the Basque people are direct descendants of Cro-Magnon man, because other areas where Cro-Magnon man existed, such as the Atlas Mountains in Morocco or the Canaries, also have a high incidence of rhesus negative. Rhesus negative blood in a pregnant woman can fatally poison a fetus with rhesus positive blood,
Yes.
and the Basques must still have a relatively high incidence of miscarriages and stillbirths. It has been argued that this is why the Basques remain a small population in a confined, mostly mountainous area, while other populations in Spain, France and Portugal expanded.
This let's put a theory out there. What if rhesus negative and rhesus positive wasn't of this realm?
Yeah.
Which is the reason why that them as humans obviously cannot produce children themselves without having medication to protect them, because obviously the body would think it's alien and abort it because it's not of natural. Just a theory.
That's all irrespective. Now you've had the COVID stuff about.
I mean, it goes back again to something in the Bible.
Convid, you mean?
Yeah,
you can't say convid. Or the Britney Spears.
Convicts.
The Tower of Babel. You know, we
Was that like the babyfish?
Tower of Babel, babyfish.
babyfish.
Babyfish in the hitchhiker's going.
Yes, of course it was. Yeah, the Tower of Babel,
Yes.
babyfish. Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. I've got to watch that film again.
Oh,
Hitchhiker's Guide to the
as
Galaxy.
well.
Sorry,
That's
I
just
had to inject a bit of humour there.
I've got to watch that film
I
again.
miss was it Marvin, the depressed robot?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, so he was brilliant. He
not
was. Yeah.
this again.
Oh.
Right.
Space.
Have a-
Bigger than the biggest thing you can think of.
Yeah.
It's big.
Who was the actor? It was what's his name?
That was Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman. Yeah, brilliant actor. Heather Nicholson. Right. She said, "I understand that Cro-Magnon man
Cro-Magnon.
were the brains, tall, slim, short arms, elegant craniums, elongated craniums. I do apologise. Nathaniel were the brawn and have now actually eat the Cro-Magnon. I know to actually eat the Cro-Magnon.
Yeah.
Because I do believe, I mean, rhesus negative and rhesus positive, I do believe they're not of this realm. I do believe maybe they're descendants of Nephilim, maybe they're descendants of another race. But to produce another child, a human child, yeah, the Nephilim child, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not being funny, I've got to say this out loud, right?
What's that out there?
Because there's one thing that really bugs me. Nephilim are like 20 foot tall.
Yeah.
So let's just put things in proportion. How are they going to fit in someone 5'6"?
Well, they're born obviously born normal size and just and have different growth genes in them. Because we know that our people who've got gigantism.
Yes.
You know what I mean, they're born normal, and also, you know, and they
Jeff's
just
got
carry
that.
on growing.
Oh, grow bag.
Jeff's got that
No, that's from Ben
gigantism.
and Jerry's.
Oh, yes, Ben and Jerry's in it. Sorry, Jeff. Yeah, that's Ben and Jerry's, not gigantism.
I've got to say, but mine's Ben and Jerry's.
And Wild Witch said the anti-D is an injection that stops the rhesus negative mother's blood fighting to stop the rhesus positive pregnancy.
Right.
Not needed if both parents are rhesus negative. I take it, is that the same if both parents are rhesus positive? Obviously it would be the same because obviously you ain't got to fight each other. I've been told by a
if you
medium.
mix the two different ones.
So if you mix
Yeah,
negative and
yeah,
positive, I
sorry.
take it you've got to have some sort of...
Negative, positive, yeah.
Injection to stop.
I mean, what was going to say, if we go back to the story of the Tower of Babel, when we tried to reach the gods by building that tower,
Yeah.
the
Didn't get
gods
very high, did they?
No, but the gods didn't like it, so they knocked it down. But it was after that point that they then decided to split the human race up into different types of humans. You know, like we've got the Northern Europeans, Southern Europeans, and you know, black, brown,
Asian.
Asian, you know, all that, and split us up with language as well.
Exactly. No reason for rhesus negative on the earth, so Wild Witch thinks, which I kind of agree with, because if obviously negative rhesus negative is of a alien, shall we say,
So maybe
context.
so maybe that goes back to the Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, no one knows for definite, but
Heather says, I don't think the Nephilim were that tall. The indigenous population is around 5 feet tall. So even someone 6'8", 7 to 8 feet wearing headgear would also appear as a giant. Yeah, that's true. Because we had that guy back in the 70s, the tall bloke with the glasses. He was 7'5",
Yeah.
wasn't he? And
I
he
mean,
just had very long arms and very long legs.
My great granddad, he was 6'6".
Small boy.
Yeah, he would have been a giant of a man. I'm going back the turn of the 20th century. You know, when my great granddad was here.
No.
I think my dad's got early memories of him as well. He said he's a massive guy.
Yeah.
So
I just had an image put in my head. You talking about Tower of Babel, and it's thank you, Spirit. It's quite funny because obviously I think my spirit guides have got a sense of humour, because every time someone mentions something, I get these vivid images in my head, and it's the Italians building the Leaning Tower of Pizza,
Yeah.
and suddenly someone's gone no and pushed a finger and pushed it over. Get over that one, you bastards.
Yeah.
That's what they put in my
Don't
head.
even think
Some
of-
finger coming down, just
You're
pushing
trying
it.
again. Don't even think about it.
Yeah, just go away. Stop it.
Wait.
And it's just laid there for years. Anyway, Heather said an increased oxygen atmosphere would make everything grow larger. I have to remember that.
Yeah.
Can I get an oxygen bed? Sorry.
Behave.
Sorry.
Just use the other thing, mate. The blue thing.
Oh no, I don't use the blue thing.
No. But
Apple cider vinegar with cranberry juice.
Apple cider vinegar.
You don't
Apple
need
cider vinegar with mother.
with cranberry
Mother?
juice. Mother? Yeah, really?
No,
Wherever floats your boat.
that is the culture. The culture in it, isn't it? Mother?
The
Apple
Tower
cider
of Babel story is a cover for the Great Pyramid.
okay.
Could be.
Yeah, it could be. As I say, I remember the story as being that because we was all one race effectively, they knocked it down and then split us up into different races.
Ooh.
Did you see that
different
picture?
languages.
You talk about alien agendas. Just popped into my head. I noticed it about 2 days ago. Someone posted on Twitter a photograph from about 1930, and it was soldiers in old military uniform, and there was like 4 or 5 different types of soldiers there, and they were looking, and they were underneath the Pyramid of Giza, and there was these massive, great big statues of like people with like, I would say like hawk faces,
Yeah.
and like that, and they were looking at these, and they looked frozen, but they were stone, obviously.
Yeah.
But they were trying to work out why they were there underneath the pyramid. Kind of gives you kind of an alien agenda towards the pyramids, doesn't
So
it?
that's again, that links back to what we're doing with Egypt. That like the you know they were putting these in those hieroglyphs. You had these massive tall beings, and you had all the little beings next to them.
Yes.
So
The 4'8", 4'5"
that's it.
people
And then you
gets to
had
6
one
foot people.
massive-
Yeah.
one massive being.
Heather said, yeah, the Tower of Babel stories cover a Great Pyramid, and the Wild Witch said, I think the doggone people you spoke about were very small. Heather said, its power was activated a few thousand years ago by the god, and the gods didn't like it. About the power, the Babylon, Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, they wanted to get to the gods, and it was stopped. As I said, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the
Yeah.
Italians started doing it, and they got, no, wait. And that the lottery finger come down and went, it's you.
It's not you.
Yeah, it's not you. Push the tower over, and they stopped building it. So they put a
Yeah.
top on it. Yeah, but yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. But trouble is, they talk about these gods, right? Obviously, you got Achilles and Thor, and Zeus, Ra, and all that. Right? They say that they were around, which I do agree with. But where are they now?
Well, I mean, in the Norse mythology, with all the old gods like Thor, Odin, they all allegedly died in the Ragnarok, in the actual Ragnarok, not
that was
the
it.
MCU.
The Watchers, Wild Witch. The Watchers lived
Yeah.
on top of the tower and watched what was happening down below, and had the power to change it. I think that's the story. Not sure though. Yeah, I do agree with that. The Watchers.
I'll go with it.
That's why they were called the Watchers, because they stood on the top of the Tower of Babel and they would watch down what was going on and tell the gods, and the gods would change it. Yeah, that makes sense. They were grasses. No one likes a snitch, because snitches get stitches.
They were security.
No, basically, yeah, that's why it was called the
That was
Watchers.
security.
Mm.
What we were
Only
doing.
they ended up being fallen angels because they liked human women.
Or maybe because they were fallen angels. Maybe fallen angels, they were pushed on the top of the Tower of Babel. They were pushed by a god because they were disrespectful or whatever. And
Could be, yeah.
fallen angel, because obviously the word fallen angel, they say from heaven. Well, heaven's got a different context for different religions, and obviously I believe in a completely different, as you know, which I'm not going to mention, that's for another round table. But if the Watchers were pushed off, they would become a fallen angel then, surely, because they were deemed an angel, wouldn't they? So a fallen angel, if a Tower of Babylon went right up into the sky, quite a way up in the sky, they would be fallen. So I don't know,
Yeah.
logic.
this is for
The watchers are symbolised by a single all-seeing eye, which we see everywhere. Oh yes, I'm not going to mention the illuminations. Change that as a misprint.
It's very illuminating.
Yes, illuminating. Yeah,
Yeah,
with a bit of arty added to the end of it.
The eye of Sauron, yeah.
This is the eye of Sporran. Where have I heard that from? The Sporran.
Sauron.
Was that from a Monty Python sketch? Anyway,
Yeah, anyway. Oh.
so yeah, I mean,
Very interesting. Very interesting.
the aliens.
Part two
My
coming out
opinion
next
is they're not here to hurt us. They wouldn't hurt us, because why would they hurt us when we're a primitive race? Why would they take us out for what reason?
Yeah.
Why would they create so much turbulence and so much negative energy for the sake of?
But the fact is they are.
But it's not them. It's not the rest of them. Arterians, Palladium, Andromedans. It's not them.
They're basically here to lift us up, lift their vibrations up. But you've got the others, like the reptilians and
Assume it's the other human hybrids that are working against us.
yeah, they're there to bring us down and feed off the negative energies that they're creating.
Because there's always something that's always resonated with me. The Bible, I don't like the Bible, but the Bible states that God created man in his own image.
Yeah.
So why is every single race humanoid? 2 arms, 2 legs, body. Some have got 4 legs, some have got 4 arms, whatever. They've still got 2 arms, 2 legs. And they've all got a torso, they've all got a head. Do you know what I mean?
It's the most effective form. This is the most effective form for being able to do anything, really.
Yeah.
You can be the most intelligent creature on the earth. We all know. The whales, dolphins. Are also highly intelligent, but their forms limit them to what they're able to do.
If you want something funny, go on to Instagram and watch Dapper Laughs. Watch his latest stand-up about old Hawkins.
Oh yeah.
And he plays music to it. And I'll tell you what, it's like, touch me, you want to do... That song, the one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I can get
Benassi.
my satisfaction. He said,
Benassi.
that's the last thing you heard on Epstein Island. I don't pissing myself.
Benny Benassi.
I like
But anyway,
some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Wild
It
Witch,
is.
I don't believe in heaven or hell, by the way. Neither do
No.
I.
Not in the religious context.
Everyone here has got an opinion on heaven and hell. Obviously, I let Rudy explain his and Adam explain his. Mine is the fact is that heaven's created in the brain, hell is created with your fear and anxiety that's created from the pit, your root chakra. So that's my opinion. So, but Heather turned around and said, "Let us make man in our image." And
Us.
and 2 things. Us implies gods, plural.
Yeah.
Heather also put, and second, man is already here. They weren't happy. And the fans are old man, maybe, so they wanted to recreate him in their image. Maybe so. That's actually quite a good point.
Yeah. Like we know, the missing link. There was an intervention there, which lifted us up into what is Homo sapien.
But the point I was trying to make was every single species is always a humanoid. Always in that torso, legs, arms.
Yeah, as I said, it's the most effective form for being able to do things. From our fingers to how we move and in biped format, it's the most effective form.
Of course it is. Heather, you said if at first you don't succeed, try again. Is that the reason why there's natural selection? Maybe.
I haven't looked at that tonight.
Oh, it's been going off all night. Yeah. Every time you've made a point, that's gone off. Every time you've made a point, that's gone off. When we've agreed on a point, that's gone really wild. That's gone like...
Yeah.
It's all on camera. No, that's just the week. Oh, I was kind of thinking trying to protect the innocent and the stupid and the mad drivers. Anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know I've mentioned him many a time, but Paul Wallace and the Fifth Kind are also channels to pay attention to, because Paul was a pastor and a preacher, obviously.
Yeah, pastor,
and it was basically his job to interpret the Bible to, to to teach other people, and it was his studies of the Bible that had said, like, basically, hang on here, this isn't what we think it is. Which led him into the fact that we were put here by the races, and he does delve into other things that come off of that. But Paul Wallace is a very good guy to follow. I think he's pretty much got it nailed on with things that have gone on and how we were created, because he talks about the Elohim and how it's God's in the plural that's mentioned, and how the New Testament and the Old Testament are very different, because the Old Testament is very fire and brimstone and whatever, and how is this all loving God suddenly decide he's going to kill millions and millions of people? But then we move into the New Testament.
The lesser God.
Yeah. How is an all-loving God going to do that? Or capable of that behaviour? But then we move into the New Testament, which is predominantly Jesus and his teachings, which is very different, and he moves away from, that Ten Commandment thing, and teaching about spirituality.
Yeah.
And we know that
there's a very thin line between spirituality and religion.
Yeah.
There is a very thin line, but they narrate.
Yeah.
They split it.
But Jesus is a hybrid.
Yes.
And
he was a prophet.
Yeah.
He was a man prophet.
And he went, he went around.
And a bloody good woodworker as well.
Yeah. And he went around the civilized world to learn the different spiritualities from India to the Far East. And it was his basic job to bring us up. That was his thing.
Yeah.
He'd done a bloody good job of it. Unfortunately, the Roman Catholics got hold of.
Yeah, but the Roman Catholic Church, Catholicism, has got rid of it and literally abused it for what it is for their own agenda.
And it's continued to have been abused.
Of course it has.
I mean, look at the Church of England now; it's horrific. And what the Pope's been.
Hev was looking into this, right? She was talking about the Bible, as you were saying about the scriptures and what they're for, right? And the difference between the two, it does state in the Bible that I am a jealous God. Basically, he's a very needy God, so that would make him a lesser God, surely, because if he wasn't there, if you was to create people just to treat them like an ant farm with a kid with a magnifying glass, what's the point? Because that must mean that you were given. It was like someone that didn't want the job, but was told to take the job, and go and get on with it.
Yeah.
So it kind of, if that was the case, then who is the absolute? Who is the real one? And is that the reason why this awakening has happened? Why the alien agenda is starting to come closer? Because here's a question for you both, right? Something I was reading the other day. There's many, many forms of people or races on this planet, on this world, that have vanished over the centuries. Egyptians, Babylonians, Sumerians, they just upped off and fucked off. Were they alien or were they human? Do you think they were here to guide us into a technological age such as the pyramids? They were here, they built them for us, they told us how to work them, but certain forms of jealous elites took that away from us because they didn't want us having that. So they've gone, fine, there's something we can do for you, and they've just fucked off. Because it's funny how that the ancient Egyptians were here for quite a few years and then just vanished off the face of the earth, took all their tablets and scriptures with them and just left hieroglyphics. Why? Babylonians, Simonians, whatever, what's the other one? It begins with S. Simonians? Samolonians?
You got Sumerians.
Sumerians, that's it. They just disappeared. Plus there was certain other forms of people across all over the world that just vanished off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And took all their technology with them.
Yeah, I mean, some of them did and some of them succumbed.
Sumerians, thank you, Eva.
And some, like the Aztecs, the South American, once the Spanish conquistadors went in, it was...
Totally agree with you on this, Wild Witch. I believe we've all done this before. They watched us mess it up. This is the second chance. They are just watching again to see if we've learnt anything, and they want us to mess it up again. Exactly. This is kind of like a training ground.
This is actually, I think, the 7th. It's not a second chance. It's a 7th. Or it's six.
It's more than one chance. Yeah.
6th or 7th incarnation.
Because Hev's thinking what I'm thinking, or maybe the job was hijacked by a lesser god. a jealous god that wanted to change it for himself. Hef put Wild Witch, I don't think we are the ones messing up. If the rulers are, it's the rulers that are forcing us. They're forcing their hand, yeah. And Wild Witch put, that's
Or are we
exactly who's
forcing their
doing it.
hand?
The greedy elites that want the power over all. And they do.
I think we're forcing their hand, I think.
Yeah, at the moment we're forcing their hand, but it was said by many people. You got to remember, George H.W. Bush turned around and said, if they find out what we're doing, they're going to lynch us on the fucking streets. And
You know,
they
it
also
don't take a lot. It don't take a lot of people to do that. So
No.
what is it? Cut 2 or 3% of people to actually, if they were saying if 2 or 3% can change everything, then we've
well,
basically they're fucked.
I'll give you two parts in our lifetime, which created so much love and light. It was unreal. Philadelphia, 1985. Wembley Stadium, 1985. 100,000 people at Philadelphia Stadium, 80,000 people at Wembley. The love that was spread there was no hatred, arguments, anger or fights ever in that whole day. When all those bands are on there, there was love just for everything, and everyone had a good intention. You can think of how much energy in that one bowl of that building. That would have been a beacon, and those bastards were feeding off it. Same as in Philadelphia. That would have created an arc across the whole world of all love, everyone just singing happy, high spirits. Yeah, they were drinking, but the amount of energy that was produced in Live Aid,
Positive energy.
positive love and light,
You're thinking of you've got to look at it in the context.
and they were feeding off it.
Yeah, you've got to look in the context of what energy. Was it positive, negative?
It was positive. There was no negative at Live Aid
Well, that's what I'm saying.
because it was all
Positive.
compassion and empathy.
It's all from the self.
Because
you know?
I remember seeing people and talking about it years after. Why did you buy tickets for Live Aid? I just had the compelling. I had to be there. I had to be there. That's all that people say. No one knew why they went out and bought those tickets. Okay, their favourite band was there, but they just had to be part of it. And you imagine 80,000 people in Wembley Arena, 1984, 1985, sorry, and the amount of energy, everyone singing. Freddie Mercury, right?
Yeah.
He's standing there doing the well and all that.
Yeah.
And every single person was copying him. You imagine
Yeah.
how much energy between those people and one person.
Yeah.
The amount of positive energy.
I mean, it's like that guy was getting the humans to be, like, getting people to be the instrument, and he's literally he's standing, he's going one part of the crowd like that, and they're just raising their tones in unison.
Yeah.
And he's going that bit of the crowd, and then you go where, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was actually a beautiful thing to listen to and watch.
Who was the comedian that done that as well? He, I think it was Peter Kay in his early days. He'd done it. I think there was about 2,000 people in the Blackpool Tower, or whatever it was, one of the two. I'm sure it's Peter Kay, and he's sitting there. I was one of the comedians, and he was sitting there getting people to go, yay, like that, and then he goes, shut up, you, like that, yeah, like that. He was,
That was it. Yeah, it was the same thing.
energy. And you think about, Manchester bombings and all that sort of thing, the amount of energy that would have been there. Someone didn't want that energy there, so that's why the bombings happened. Right, you think about how over the years people have got together and they've tried to stop it.
Now you look at it nowadays. You've got these satanic artists creating this negative energy,
Yep.
and that's the same sort of thing, isn't
Yeah.
it?
That's why, when I do my nights, I don't tend to do much in the way of new stuff. All the music I play is from the previous decades.
Yeah.
Ever put, for we wrestle not against the flesh and blood, but against the principalities, against the powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's exactly what they did. As I said, when they put us all, when people get together, we make change. 1980s, the poll tax riots in this country.
I remember that.
They forced the government's hand. The government still had their agenda and brought in council tax, but then they had to make it so it wasn't it wasn't compulsory. It's voluntary, but people don't realise that. And you've got to remember that if people stand up, if 1 million people went to Parliament and said, "I don't want you in power, I want you out," they can't say a single bloody word because they can't arrest 1 million people.
Not only that, we're in our rights to do it.
There's a thing that people realise, right, this is what this alien agenda has showed me, that, and obviously years of watching Star Trek, which is always the way. Unity creates change. If people unite against the bad people, communities can change their communities.
Well, we have done that. We've I've been on the marches myself.
Oh, so have I.
Yeah.
And you
All
have.
have, yeah.
He has. And
We all have.
We've been on
But
these
the more
marches.
people we get, the more change we can produce.
It's
Whenever-
like, it's like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
You know, it just gets bigger and bigger.
I mean, I went to, you know, one of the earlier marches against the old, about the C-19, and there was like there was 10,000 there.
Yeah.
And then you look at the marches we went on, there was up to a
Millions.
million.
The one we
million
went on
plus.
down to Shepherd's Bush,
Yeah.
where we were pushed into the Westfield. You know,
Yeah.
there was over 2 million people there.
Yeah,
2 million. But that's what I mean. If
But the
we,
media just
Blanks
say,
it out.
well,
Not
it's only a
newsworthy.
few thousand.
Yeah. And when I went on to when I
out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
when I filmed Tommy Robinson's
Yeah.
two-tier policing.
That was quite a powerful one. That was
that
for a
was-
good reason.
Yeah.
Did you go on that?
I did, yeah. I've got a couple of live streams on the channel.
And that was, when was that?
I was only about a month or so ago.
Yeah, it was in June, wasn't it?
Yeah. And
June 15th or something.
Did you
I remember the mirrors.
You got any footage of?
Yes, it's on the channel. If you go in the live stream section, you'll see.
You are admin. You can have a look.
Yeah, you can see it.
You can post your own videos as well. Did you know that?
No. No, I don't. What was the last? What was that channel?
Our channel, Southend
Southend Para-Quest.
Para-Quest.
Oh,
You're admin
you're
of it.
Oh, sorry,
Um,
no.
But yeah, the media report, or the Mirror did. I don't know about the others, but the Mirror said it was a couple of hundred far-right football hooligans.
Yeah.
That's what the
hang on
Daily
a
Mail,
minute.
the 29th of May 2021, when we went on that massive march,
Yeah.
the Daily Mail said that there was only a couple of thousand of people, but there was a record 2.8 million people turned up, because 2.8 million people bought more tickets on the London Underground and all the rail networks and coming to London.
Yeah. I said no, that is crap, because I was there, and there was a good about 20,000 was on that, and there was not one bit of trouble.
I remember walking down.
And you all expect from the narrative you about Tommy Robinson, it's all going to be far right thugs and all that.
I think you was there. I think you was there the march I went with Lorraine and all that, and I'm sure you was, because I remember walking around the back with you on the way back from Westfield.
No, I wasn't there, not Westfield.
No, the one at Shepherd's Bush, went all the way down to Shepherd's Bush and back up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Right.
the one where it's split.
Yeah, it split.
Yeah.
But
No,
I remember walking down was it Grazing Road, or the one that goes all the way down to Elephant Castle? Down that massive road, the big posh road. I can't remember the name of it now. Was it Great Ormond? No, it wasn't Great Ormond Street. Was it Great Portland? I can't remember the name of it. I have to look it
I
up.
think it's Portland.
Great Portland. But the road, we were like covering the whole,
Just-
and it's
just
massive
see it
road.
roll.
That is, it's a double lane road.
Just see it, people.
Just a sea of people, and you could see it far back out of front here. And they were saying there was a couple of thousands of people there. There wasn't. There was
Oh,
like
right.
fucking 2 million people there. Because I know, because when we got to where was it? Shepherd's Bush Tube. They literally had all the staff there, and we had to queue round to get onto the train, because they wouldn't let us all on in one go, because it would have just completely annihilated the station. And we had to queue there for about half an hour, and they were letting like 30 on at a time.
Yeah.
And that was-
I remember one of those marches I went on, I got a quick interview with Right Said Fred. I literally stood. I went round with the crowd, and then I just stopped. There was like this sign, like diversions off the traffic. It was unrelated to the march. But I thought, I'll stand here because I'll get a natural diversion of people around me rather than getting buffeted. And of course, I was filming it, and then I could see the blue lights from the Rosavans. And I thought, oh, well, that's got to be the back of it. And as I turned around, I seen Richard and Fred. I'm like, oh, it's the Freds.
So you was literally,
Oh,
deeply dippy then, was you?
I was, yeah. It was great to talk to them. They're
too
just,
sexy for my shirt.
they're nice, genuine guys.
They are nice guys. I
Yeah.
watched many of their blogs, and they're really, really funny.
I mean, I've been on a few of the marches, you know, now, and the one in, what was it? Was it Chelmsford, Colchester?
Oh, the Chelsea one.
Chelmsford one was, yeah, that was good.
That's the one you got to find down the bus line.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
we got fucking
Somebody go down the
bloody.
bus lane and
But there was no sign. The sign would all blurred out because it was like.
yeah, that's your
So
excuse.
I went round thinking you can turn right and left into the car park, and we got bloody a ticket for it. And I'm like, really?
Well, there you go, mate. That's what you get for misreading signs.
Yeah, but I don't know Chelmsford, so it's not exactly signposted. It's like
It's
I know
easy for me
Southend
'cause
now.
I know the ins and outs of the South East, but that was a good one because that
There
was
a
a
few of us there.
there's about 600, I think.
Yeah.
Don't sound a lot, but
There was a lot of people there.
That was a big gathering,
Yeah.
and there's a case in point with that because obviously they put the police there, and they were trying to direct us down certain roads.
Yes,
Yeah,
I remember that.
and
They kept saying, "Go this way." This
Yeah.
bloke was sitting there, an undercover cop, and
yeah,
go that way. And we're going, "No, we're going that way."
No,
And
they were-
Lorraine's going, "Thank you, I'm
they
going
were,
that
They
way."
were plain clothes.
I remember that,
And,
yeah.
I
There's a
remember
couple of plain clothes in the crowd. Yeah.
plain clothes.
That when we
was a
got back
woman,
to the car,
And hang on a minute.
Yes,
There's a
sir, mate.
woman, and there was a bloke there, and the bloke had the woman. I can't remember the bloke, or the woman had the handcuffs hanging out the pocket. And I thought,
I saw
oh,
it.
they're trying to take us down the wrong road.
yeah, they are, yeah. I remember that because we got back to the car because we had to get back for the kids, and we rung up Lorraine and said, "There's like 5 riot vans, and they're all gearing up with riot stuff. Make sure you're out of the way." And we literally got to the car park where the court was, where we parked up, and literally in riot vans, they were putting all the riot
Yeah.
gear on.
Yeah.
There's a waste of time because we'd already gone.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same. It's the same as the Southend one, the protest over the
Oh,
vaccines
yeah.
for under 16s that we arranged, and got arranged, and there was only 250 people there, but we held. They didn't have any units in Southend to get down quick enough, and by the time they got down, we'd gone.
We'd gone. Yeah.
But we forced their hand. We made it so that it was now. You had to send a letter out. The schools had to send a letter out to vaccinate your child. You had to have consent, and that's all we wanted.
I remember flying my drone over.
But that was the South End one. It was
Yeah.
about Warrior Square.
That's right. I remember flying my drone over Warrior Square.
Was that before or after the pool was there?
That was after the poll.
After,
Yeah, because that pool's been
and
gone
there
for
was that,
years.
what was he like? What was that?
You had Jamie Miller.
Yeah, Jamie Miller was there.
Oh, one of
Because the ropes still were in.
the twins from the yeah.
And poor old Paul. She thought, oh no, we've been spotted. She got paranoid. And I said,
And it was
"That's
you."
me. It was me.
Standing over control, going,
Yeah.
"Hello, Pauline." As you go,
They're all
"Yeah."
waving at it.
Here's
You
it.
go, we're getting spotted.
Here's Edgar.
Look, it's News International. It's the Sun monitoring us. And it's Rudy going,
Oh yeah, well, I'm laughing.
"No, it's me.
I'm
It's
just
me."
laughing. I'm thinking, fuck, you know.
Good old times.
That was classic.
Yeah.
That was good.
But that was I know we're going totally off piece from aliens here, but
No, it is an alien agenda.
well,
Because
yeah,
it's
aliens
the
need to be
uprising
aliens.
against
Yeah.
the regime, isn't
It's
it?
off the track.
It's the push. But
Think of the elite as the Borg, and we're the Federation.
V.
I think I was saying to Chris when the Putney 7 o'clock comes to my pub in Putney. Chris, Paul's met him.
Yes,
The,
nice bloke.
Yeah.
Very, very clued up, and
And he's very spiritual as well.
comes out with some things you think, yeah.
And he said, where do you think the next uprising will start? And I said, probably Essex.
Where it's all started from.
We've
Market
seen-
shops, a lot.
I seem to have a history of it because going back to 1381 when my ancestor John Ball kicked off with Wat Tyler and Jack Straw, kicked off the peasants uprising. You know, and now more recently we've had Southend and Chelmsford. I think we were the first protests outside of London against the
Go back to the early 2020s, right? Maskless shops. The maskless shops that was created by the group actually went viral across the world, and it enraged. What it actually triggered France, Germany, Italy to start doing maskless shops, because obviously I wasn't involved in the first lot, but they'd done the Tesco's, didn't they? Strawberry Fields, and they walked in there, 30 of them, no mask. So you need a mask. Back out. Don't need a mask. And then people going, "Oh God, I need a mask," and all that. And people were videoing. That video went live across Twitter, and it created a domino effect.
Yeah, but we're getting off the context.
That is an alien agenda, though, because as I said, it's
I mean,
dividing
The
against.
context is,
Yeah, the upper echelons Yeah, because it does tie in with what's going on.
Not the reptilians.
Well,
Epsilons.
they're the ones that feed off our emotional state. So
Oh,
they
I thought that was the
created
Archons
this.
you were talking about.
All the archons, yeah, created this huge climate of fear, which is a low vibrational state or low vibrational.
Well,
energy.
fear is the most base
Mm.
base element to control, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and that does. I mean, if you've got someone,
It's a low vibration.
If you've got someone, that's what you said.
Yeah.
If you've got someone that is in fear, that it's so easy to manipulate because they've got no kind of way out, have they? You know, they've all.
No.
The way that I've always put this, sorry Adam, the way I've always put this is, would you go into a supermarket like Asda, Tesco's and Sainsbury's and spend 25 quid on a bottle of doubt or a bottle of fear and then drink it?
Oh.
Would you go and do it? Because that's all you're
I wouldn't-
doing.
I wouldn't
That's
do
as
it.
serious, that's as simple as it
I
gets.
wouldn't do it.
You accept it or you deny it. So if you walk into Asda and go in there, right, I need my shopping powder, my bread, my eggs and my milk. Oh, look, there's a bottle of doubt over there. There's a bottle of elitist doubt. Let's have that and fear. Let's drink that every week.
But you'd want to know what it does and what was in it.
Exactly. But it's just a construct that's
Yeah.
low vibration to keep us low. If you take that out of your mind and have confidence in yourself, believe in who you are as a human being, as an entity, you can't fall prey to their system. Can't.
Well, trust you in yourself, then.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what it
What you do,
is. Self-belief.
You question your inner self.
And that, I believe, is an alien agenda. And it's a positive alien agenda. Because the one thing that we've learnt since all this has happened since 2020, even 2019, right, is that we've been awakened and put together for a reason.
What I can't understand is why people took it and why they didn't trust the inner self.
Scared.
We were scared. Everyone was scared. Something's not
Oh,
quite right.
You've
here.
gone back live, that just cut off then, so we need to change off that topic. It's gone back live, it will come off, cut off and went back on again.
Okay.
So we'll change off that subject again about that.
Now, eggs are a nice thing.
Eggs are really
Eggs.
nice. Especially when they're scrambled with a bit of pepper.
Exactly.
How about omelettes? Yeah, they're really good.
Obviously that was a boop boop like that, and that was because they didn't want us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
For entertainment purposes only, this is, by the way,
Yeah,
people.
if these are our opinions. They're
They're
not
only
official.
opinions.
So only our opinions, no one else's.
And please remember that the word opinion actually means a fictitious account of events.
Am I going to get in trouble with you?
So please remember that our opinions
No.
are only fictitious, and fictitious means that it's not of a true nature. It's only
I didn't
one
wanna
individual's
compromise
against the masses.
No.
But as the alien agenda, you know, I think it's a lot linked with the alien agenda.
It's tied in with what we.
But you
It
can't
is
deny
tiny.
since
Very-
2019 the world has woken up to what is going on around it, and more people day in day out. You've just
What's
got to
it
look
they
on the
say?
social medias and see about certain sky events going on that people are waking up and posting pictures
It
galore,
does tie in with eggs, you know. Can't
Eggs,
make an omelette without
breaking a
breaking
few eggs. Yes, and you can't have any eggs without bacon. Remember that.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You name that tune in one.
Yeah. I think part of my job was to spread messages about the Britney Spears.
Yep.
You know, about getting.
Britney Spears.
I know what my job was now. My job was never about
Oh,
Yeah, you know.
That
Yeah.
old chestnut.
Yeah.
the old Cupid.
That
'Cause
old,
I
old chestnut.
I followed my own path, getting the antibody test and showing, and for me, as much to confirm to myself, but once I was able to do that, I could show others.
Yeah, but did Brittany have anything to do with it?
She could have done. You know.
Because you got to remember, she did sing about "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time," didn't she? And now it's 7 times. So yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But
You got to look at. The,
I know what my calling was now. My calling was never about awakening people. My calling was to set up this group, set up this place for us.
Bit strong, isn't it?
No, think about it.
Bit
Yeah.
strong.
I was only there as support.
And what
The
you-
best way I can put it is, best way I can put this is,
Careful,
I'm a field medic. You're not the warriors. You come here, I feed you, I support you,
JD.
give you humour, and I get you sit and you go back out and do your job. That's the way I look at myself. I'm just a field medic. When you
Well,
like
yeah,
you're
medic.
feeling a bit deflated, you come around here, you have a laugh and a joke, and you go back out in the
Well,
world.
you meet with JD. So
Exactly.
I
So that's what my
That's
my
what
calling
makes
was.
it
That's
different.
My calling was never about waking people up. It was about making people feel together, and that's why. You asked Heather. I told you the first time I met you. I kept having these visions of this group in this room. Got to get together. Now look at us. We're having every time we have a drink up. There's loads of us here. Every time we have a live, there's us here, right?
Well, there isn't that many here at the moment.
I'm going to get a cardboard cutout of Gloria and stick it over there. So she's like, hold on. I've got a nice picture of her and I'm going to get it cut out, put in the bin, like, so she's always here. But that was my calling. Like you say with yours was about waking people up, about the Brittany. Well, I was never about the masses. Mine was small. It was to get people together that were strong and without knowing it, needed each other. And we whittled out a few, yeah, and we gained a few.
Yeah.
But it was all about getting us together as a powerful group. Because I mean, look what's happened when we've been in this room. We've had 5, 6 of us here, and we've had spirit come through. We've had people talking to us. We've had family come through. We've had the amount of laughing, tears, upset, anger, and all that we've had here. But we're still together. So it's for a reason. And as I said, the 5th person. We spoke about this last time.
Who's the 5th race? I mean, I'm the person.
You know.
Who's the 5th person?
She couldn't make it tonight.
Come on. Who is it?
And
Do we know this person?
And I think you and Gloria are going to awaken her.
Nothing to do with me.
Oh no, you
I've
will.
never touched her.
No, awaken her. You're gonna
like a
free her
try.
mind.
They can try.
What do you mean no women allowed? Yes they are. Women are allowed in here anytime.
Oh,
Equal. We're 50-50. There's no sexism here.
Who said that?
Neil said no women allowed.
Oh, Neil.
Yes we are. They are allowed.
Yes, very much so.
Women are very much
Right,
allowed.
Well, oi, Mr. Hyde.
Oh, it's 11:45, people.
Bloody hell, yes it is.
Yeah.
So
Better call it because I've got
Call it.
double shift tomorrow.
Call it then.
love and light to you all, and I'll leave over
Yeah,
to.
God
we're
bless
going to leave
you.
it there
God bless
because
you.
yeah, I've got stuff to do tomorrow. But yeah, we'll do. It will be the first Wednesday in August. We will do a part 2 to the alien thing. I think we'll discuss.
And we'll have the man from the south
Well,
yeah.
with us.
What Gloria's
Yeah,
said. You
We'll
said
have the
that
man from the
Gloria.
south
Yeah.
with us next time, so it'll be very
Well, after the
entertaining.
south,
and we can discuss different species that we know of and.
Because
Well,
Gloria
well,
does
yeah.
that. Gloria's
Well,
that's
yeah.
Gloria.
Other species. Jeff.
Well, it's love and light from me, so good
Yeah.
night all.
Good night all. Thank you.
It's good night from
Right.
him, and it's love and night
From
God
us
bless
as well.
from me.
From us.
Ta-ra.
Oh, you got